right, so this is the small scores segment that I think a lot of people have been waiting for. We really appreciate all the comments in the thread. It was kind of bittersweet because it was, like doing small scores is a lot of work, and we've been kind of tied up, the three of us lately with, our businesses and babies and other things, and we weren't able to do it. It was just like too much. So it was bittersweet because a lot of people missed it, which we're like, oh, that's really nice. But at the same time, we're like, now we feel bad for like not releasing it. So we are back with small scores. It is months worth of small scores. So we were pretty selective over what we chose. So hopefully we'll get back on a regular routine, and we will get these popped out more often than we have been. That being said, there's a lot to get to, so let's get to it. We're going to start with Razor Knuckles. Razor Knuckles had a large lot, and a few things stood out to me, which I know will surprise you guys.
I'm smelling a lot of 32X in my future.
This is what happens when I write the script.
Oh, no.
So he got a large lot, including a complete in-box Night Trap Sega CD 32X.
Night Trap! Oh, man.
Oh, yeah. You guys actually play this game?
Oh, yeah. I remember playing it back on the Sega CD back when it came out. You were like, oh, man, they're having congressional hearings on this? I gotta play it.
Oh, yeah. It's just, I always think about, like, back when they were, this is gonna be what video games are gonna look like. You're gonna be playing movies. And I really feel like the Sega CD was kind of the beginning of the non-video game world, thinking, that's what video games are. They just want to be movies. And there's, like, still, a little bit of that to this day. So,
man, that's so terrible.
Yeah.
They should have just named Heavy Rain Night Trap 2.
Yeah. I love Heavy Rain. I don't know if anyone got, I don't remember if anyone got Heavy Rain, this month.
Are there augers in Heavy Rain?
Yeah, augers. So Razor Knuckles with his, fantastic start to the, small scores with Night Trap. And it wouldn't be Razor Knuckles without a whole bunch of Sonic the Hedgehog, stuff. A whole bunch of the Sonic games, for PC actually, games that I didn't even realize came out for PC.
Yeah, I had no idea.
Yeah, it was a whole bunch. It was like R and Blast and, there's been the recent ones like Generations. But this was kind of back in the, kind of like that in-between period, like after the Genesis stuff, before the brand new stuff.
Sort of like Windows 95 or something?
Yeah, Sonic 95. He picked up Sonic 95 and Sonic Vista.
I'm sure that's great.
And then a couple of 32X carts. I don't want to say the rarest, but arguably the most expensive cart and one of the hardest games to find. So, respectively, that's Spider-Man for Web of Fire 32X cart.
Yeah, a little jelly there, right?
A little bit. I mean, it's not complete, but still, whenever someone grabs a Spider-Man, that's pretty cool. And the really crazy part was he got that Spider-Man 2 cart and like a whole bunch of other pretty cool stuff for around $200. So I call that a pretty good deal.
Definitely.
And a little bit later, he got a World Series Baseball 32X cart, which, if you love Deion Sanders or if you're going for a complete 32X set, that is, one of the heavyweights. Probably that one, Pitfall, as everyone, including, Shadow Kisaragi knows, that Pitfall with the poster, that's a tricky one. And World Series Baseball, isn't far behind it. So, pretty good start from Mr. Razor Knuckles.
Yeah, a lot of 32X there.
Yeah. Do you guys have any 32X stories that you want to chime in with before we move on?
I have one finally.
I remember it.
You remember it? Fondly? Is that what you meant to say?
I remember it.
I finally have one. I need to figure out what I want game number 1 to be.
It's got to be Doom, right?
I think I'll just jump into Complete in Box Spider-Man and go from there.
Why don't you just do that? And then you and Tinstar can just exchange pictures of your Complete in Box Spider-Man, and you can just be a happy little couple.
I thought you were going to tell him he's got to get T-Mech.
Yeah, T-Mech is awesome. T-Mech is great. You know what's a really good one, honestly? Virtua Fighter.
I wouldn't mind that, actually. I like
Virtua Fighter is a really good one to start with, and Mortal Kombat 2. Just the whole library.
no Cosmic Carnage? You're not gonna... Zaxxon's Mother Base?
I mean, if you're looking to grab a game for $5, yeah, grab those. But if you're looking for fun, and I think that Crabby is... I'd go another direction on that. Yeah. So moving on, so we won't be here all night. Okay, fine. We'll go to a guy who got some Nintendo stuff, so you guys can have some things like that. So with a very, but don't hold your breath, because there is some 32X set, 32X stuff in this one too.
Never mental note. Don't let Bill. No, I'm kidding.
We're getting away from it. Okay, so Gamer Nick had a pretty solid month. I really love the Nintendo Players Guides, the ones, the Nintendo Power Players Guides, and he grabbed a Super Metroid guide, which I didn't realize this thing was kind of up there a little bit in the dollars. I saw one at Retro Games not long ago, and they were asking like $40, $50 for it.
Really?
Yeah, some of those Super Nintendo, like I know I've had Secret of Mana, Chrono Trigger, Link to the Past, all come through the store, and they're all getting up there.
Yeah.
Those Nintendo guys were really well done back then.
Yes.
I don't know kind of why they... Well, I mean, I guess they kind of went on for quite a while. I mean, local stores got like, Zero Mission and Fusion books. So, I guess it did go for a while.
Now, were those part of the Nintendo Power subscription, or was that a separate thing you had to buy in a store?
I think you could order them in the back of your Nintendo Power, or like that little insert they put in there.
Right.
Yeah.
I do remember that little card with like, oh, you want the Ninja Gaiden one or the Link one, but I also remember getting them mailed to my house. So I don't know if I did that or if like my mom checked the box or something.
Were some of them like renewal things too? Like if you do another year subscription,
I think some were
you get
subscription bonuses.
That's what it was. You're right.
Because I used to have like the Final Fantasy 3, and I've got some of the older ones, like what the Ninja Gaiden 2 guide or something like that.
Sweet.
Definitely, yeah. So Super Metroid Player's Guide, a very nice start for Nick. Also grabbed a fairly rare cart for the NES in Fire and Ice.
Awesome.
Solomon's Key 2, right?
Yep.
Those games get me. I suck. I suck at those games so bad.
No, Fire and Ice is one of those Tecmo, right?
Yes.
Yeah, one of those hard to find Tecmo. I mean, the cart's not terrible. I do see the box like pop up once in a while for like $1 million, and it's like, oh, that's a hard to find box apparently.
Yeah, well, later release, right?
Yeah.
A little pricey. And I don't know why. I mean, I scratched my head because I think, even in Europe, I think it was called Solomon's Key 2. Why on earth here did they just, like, oh, we have a brand. Nah, screw it. We'll just go with something else.
It's weird.
Yeah, I don't know why they did that.
Weird. So speaking of late releases. Oh, you see where I'm going with this?
I do. Segue.
International Superstar Soccer. I think I left out an S in the thing here. Yeah, International Superstar Soccer for the SNES. Lots of S's.
Yes, I would say so. Yeah, well, it's kind of a soccer on the brain, right? We're just like the World Cup. And,
it's got to be. This is the peak price season for ISSS.
Yes, or sorry for the rest of the world. That's football.
Yeah, International Superstar Football.
Yes.
ISSF.
Footy, is that
my
right?
other job? I work with a guy who just moved here from Chile a couple years ago.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And you can tell how much he misses home right now because every day when you come into work, he just wants to talk about it, and I just don't know anything. And he like forgets that from one shift to the next, and then to the next day he tries again. He's like, "Oh yeah, it's this guy."
Do you at least humor him? Like, "Oh yeah, that was a crazy good corner kick."
Well, I try to, but he figured out pretty quick. I don't know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, the guys with the defense and the offense and the kicking.
You know what you do to make anyone think that you're like understand anything about that sport is you watch it with them for a minute, and then at any random time, just yell out, "That was offsides!" And then they'll think that you know what's going on.
You don't just scream goal.
No, because the cat's out of the bag at that point. So ISS. Now help me out. Between the Super Nintendo and the N64 version, what's the difference in the one people go crazy about and the one that is not that important?
Both the International Superstar Soccers on the the Super NES are pretty tricky to find. But there's only one out of like the 4 of them, I think, on the N64 that's worth a few bucks.
Yeah.
Number 2000.
It's,
I think in particular the box and manual are ridiculously tough to find.
Okay. Now, if for any particular reason, I mean, it wasn't a rental only, was it?
It wasn't a rental only, I don't think. I think it's just, a sport at the time that didn't sell well here. And now that you've got a lot of people getting more into soccer in North America, I think it's got a little more steam behind it and it's just hard to find.
Yeah, later N64 plus soccer.
Now on to an American sport. Gamer Nick also picked up Baseball Stars 2 Complete in Box, which is one of the trickier boxes to find.
Have you watched baseball at any point in time recently, Bill?
Maybe that was the wrong adjective.
There's not very many Americans playing the game in America.
No.
We import most of our players.
We do. But that's it's a
worldwide.
That's commerce.
It's
that's
a
economics.
worldwide phenomenon, just like Baseball Stars 2.
Yeah, Baseball Stars 2, the trickier of the Baseball Stars games, definitely to find. He picked up a box Genesis 3,
I still
which is
don't
nice.
have one.
It's like that kind of like teal green color. I always thought that color was the weirdest thing about that box. Like the strong red of the Genesis 2 was cool. Like the blue of the Sega CD, that, kind of oddball yellow of the 32X. So it was like a teal. It always was weird to me.
I would be curious to hear from European listeners, if you're out there. Was there a Mega Drive 3 over there? I mean, I don't know. I don't think I've ever even seen pictures.
Yeah, I haven't.
I've seen like the version 1, version 2 of the Mega Drive over there, but I don't know if I've ever seen a 3. So be curious to see.
With their little red buttons.
Because those were, it was Majesco, was that?
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
yeah, Majesco. Oh, God.
Yeah, with all those Majesco like cardboard re-releases.
Was like everything from Majesco made in Mexico, basically?
Probably.
I think
Majesco is, it means Mexican in some language.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Makes sense.
So Nick also picked up Mass Effect 3 for the Wii U.
That's awesome. I don't know why we're got a question about that.
I don't know. I just like
we're not sure if it was on the Wii U.
No, we're sure, and you'll see that's a theme in the show. But of the systems you can buy Mass Effect 3 for, the Wii U,
I would agree. Why? Why would you do that? But
nowadays why? But at the time it was like a launch game, so it was
absolutely right. And like many consoles, some of the best early games are, games that have already been out, maybe, redone. You get an armored edition here or there. But yeah, so we got Mass Effect 3. He got a really big Saturn lot, and the only things that stood out, well, not the only things, but a couple of the oddballs that stood out to me, were Corpse Killer. I think I've heard it was like the Graveyard Edition or something like that.
Yeah, what a weird game.
Yeah, really, really weird, but, I like it. And something about the cover art for Decathlete on the Saturn always makes me laugh.
Decathlete's a pretty good game. I mean, I don't even like sporty sports too much, and it's a pretty good game.
What kind of sports do you typically go in for?
Decathlons. I don't know, because it reminded me, it's that same. It's like, I used to play track and field because it's just kind of those little goofy small games that are kind of just fun.
So when you were a kid, did you want to be a decathlete?
I'm pretty sure I didn't want to be anything like that at all.
What about you, Crab? We know that you're into the fitness games. What with your
stadium events?
What with your stadium events and all?
Dance aerobics is where it's at.
Oh.
I love little games like that. Like when we did a gathering for the store a little while ago, and the game we spent the most time having the most fun with that night was Crash and the Boys.
Oh,
great
yeah.
game.
It's those Kunio-kun games.
Yeah.
Those are good.
All right, Chris, what did he wrap up with this next one here?
Well, it's an Atari 800. He got an Atari 800 in there.
It looks like you stole Crabby's line.
I was just going to move on to
it.
Zagnorch.
But he did.
Granted,
He did get an
that is
Atari.
why we're all here.
He did get an Atari 800 computer.
It was an Atari 800 computer in there right after he picked up
some other games.
This is one of the ones that I might get for 32X for number 1.
Why don't you just tell me the name of the game you want me to say? He got Blackthorn. He got Blackthorn complete in box for the 32X.
And what is the significance of him picking up Blackthorn?
He's got way too many yellow boxes on his shelf, I think
He's got all of the games that came in yellow boxes.
I don't know if that's something you really want to applaud. You might encourage people to do that.
Yeah, no, I don't encourage anyone else to
Wait.
purchase.
Does he have Dark Side?
We're talking US set here.
Oh, does he have Cool Spot?
Ooh, I don't believe that he does.
What?
I'd be willing to trade it straight up, but his Spider-Man is just loose. But in all seriousness, congratulations to Nick for completing a set. Not everything is box. He's got maybe a handful, like a half dozen games that are just carts. I believe that he said something to the effect that he wants to get some box upgrades, maybe complete some of the games. That shouldn't be too hard because those boxes are everywhere. So good for him. And then also that Atari 800. I'm sure that we'll be hearing more about that once the Atari 800 has some new games released for it.
Yeah, I'm sure those will be rolling out any day now. But the good news is you could just program your own.
I thought you were going to say the good news is Zagnorch is next.
Oh, well, that's news. This guy gets way too much.
Ziggity Zag. Yeah. Now again, he's going to be mad at us. Remember earlier when I said we had to be very selective?
Well, because he buys entire thrift stores.
Oh man, Zag gets a lot of stuff. He goes thrifting a lot. I remember chatting with him in a PM once, and he's like, "Oh yeah, there's a circuit of 7 shops that he goes to on a fairly regular basis." So when he finds all this stuff, I'm like, "How do you do that? I only go, I can't find anything at my stores." And he's like, "Well, do you go to 7?" So yeah, that's part of it. Also, the area he lives in is really good for it. So I apologize in advance. I didn't write down anything about calculators or any of the cool, things he thinks are cool, types of electronics that he grabs. So we're gonna hit some of the cooler things that he ran into and made us all jealous about.
All right. Well, up next, it sounds like it's going to be really cool, and then maybe not.
He got a Mega Man X3.
What?
Magical backpack.
Oh.
So that's right. You heard it. He got a backpack made of Mega Man X3s.
Oh, no, seriously. Just it is a cool backpack, but yeah, that's what happened.
And then the reason it's a magical backpack is because everything that he purchased, it was like the Mary Poppins bag. Things just kept coming out of it.
Actually, it's magical because it also travels long distances.
Ooh.
Oh, maybe it will pop up somewhere else. Is that what you're trying to say?
Some foreshadowing.
Oh, I guess
how unlike us.
So close to a Mega Man X3, but it's a backpack. But that's cool. No, that's cool.
Yeah.
Very good. Very good.
Now, this next game is one that I really am curious if Crabby has played or not. And I know I misspelled it, but let's make fun of it for a minute.
I want to know what Alni Hominid is.
I thought it was A-Line.
Oh, I can't
A-Line
see.
Hominid, which is a game about alien hominid. This is a game that is the Behemoth. So if you guys are familiar with Castle Crashers and Battle Block Theater and PDA games, which is on mobile, really awesome animated art style. An alien hominid is kind of like a Contra, Metal Slug, Gunstar Heroes type, kind of side-scrolling shooter, with a really cool animated art style where you play as an alien. And since it has a physical version, I was curious if Crabby has gotten on board with that.
I have owned that one for many years, and I love it. I bought it on the GameCube 10 years ago or something, and I still got it. It's awesome co-op game.
Did you
Agreed.
say PDA games?
Yeah, there's a game that's the Behemoth put out. Yeah, it's free.
So they made a game about public displays of affection?
Yes. That's exactly
That
what it is.
sounds awesome.
It has nothing to do with personal data assistance. So it's like it's a little iOS, Android, whatever game. It's free. And it's got hundreds of levels. And each one of them is only between 5 and 15 seconds long. But it's just little, platforming. So you can just pop open your device, play one level's worth of, platforming. And I never heard of it. I actually saw it. I saw the Behemoth at PAX a couple of years ago, and they had a whole bunch of iPads set up with PDA games on it. And I was like, what is this? And they were like, oh, we made it years ago. Just, no one knows it's us. But once you know it's them, you can see the art style. But yeah, PDA games. Check it out. It's free.
Awesome. I can tell you what's not free.
How many of these is he going to get?
And then none of them have a pedal.
This isn't even the last boxed miracle he comes up with in this thread.
I know.
So Zagnorch, since NES Miracle pianos, I guess grow on palm trees out there in California, comes across another boxed miracle and just twists the knife deeper into Duke's heart.
Yeah, nobody has. There was a local buddy here that was selling his everything. No pedal.
No pedal.
What? Come
you know
on,
why?
man.
Because when people kind of wrapped up their miracle and everything, they just the pedal just got kicked under the couch, and you know what your mom says? What is this?
And throws it in the trash.
What does this go to? And you're like, leave me alone. I'm drinking Sunny D. And she's like, okay. And she throws it out.
It must be, and it looks like it's just cheap junk, so it probably just fell apart. But
yeah, you know what you could do is you could put in the pedal from a Guitar Hero drum set, and no one's ever gonna know. Just say oh yeah, that's the pedal for it.
That's because I want the pedal so I can actually play the Miracle piano. Yes, you're right. I can't play the piano.
Not yet until you play it. Then
I have to be taught.
It's the teaching system. Come on.
That's right.
It is. It's actually a miracle.
Thanks, Software Toolworks.
No joke. When I saw the Miracle piano teaching system when I was a kid, I thought it was Jesus was teaching you.
I mean, quite literally, he's on the cartridge.
Yeah, I was it's a miracle. He comes out and there you go. You know how to play piano now.
Yeah, remember that whole loaves and fishes thing? You ain't seen nothing yet.
that was the marketing campaign.
That's right.
All right, so Box Miracle, Commodore 64.
Oh yeah.
My aunt had one of these growing up, and we would just go to her house and she had a box full of games, and they were all they're all copies, so they're all hand labeled and everything. And we're like, oh, let's try Crime and Punishment. Let's try this one.
Oh
and
yeah.
I really wish I could come across even a loose Commodore 64. I just want to play one again.
I've got one, and I've got a dead one, which I probably need to part out the dead one, but I got a lot of memories of the Commodore 64 as a kid. So that was the thing that kind of tided me over when Atari died before Nintendo came along. So there was some Commodore 64 in there. Good stuff.
What do you ever see those up north, Crab?
Not much. I only knew one person in my whole life who had one. That was my aunt. And same thing, she had the box full of games, but once we found Bubble Bobble, I don't think we ever looked in that box again. We just go over there to play Bubble Bobble.
We played actually a lot of, and now that I'm thinking about this, we played a lot of Olympic type games.
Oh yeah.
And, it didn't matter on what, track and field on Nintendo, winter games also on Nintendo, but, anything that had a whole bunch of different games in one thing, we were usually a fan of. So I think on the Commodore, I don't remember what it was called, but we definitely played whatever the Olympic game was and probably never touched anything else.
Oh, I remember playing so much of Ghostbusters on the Commodore 64. That was awesome. We're playing all the Zork games. That's when I first got into Zork and all those.
Ooh.
And all the Infocom games. I played a lot of Infocom games on the Commodore.
Now, which Zorks were on there? Was it Nemesis or Return to Zork, or were those later?
No, it's just Zork 1 through, just all the text.
Oh,
just
right.
Zork
The original,
1 through 3.
Yep, I remember, yeah.
And a lot of the other, They had like a lot of the other text adventures from Infocom on there, so I did a lot of trying to play. I mean, at the time I was too young, I really couldn't figure out how to beat them, but I had a lot of fun trying to play through them. But yeah, cool. Commodore 64 is great.
So I also wanted to point out the amount of effort that Zag Nortz puts into not just that post, but every post. you really do get a little mini newspaper, and I really do look forward to them. So I just wanted to point that out and say that I appreciate it.
Hey now.
Late.
That's right. There you go.
I really like, just everything. Like, I don't know how easy it is to go, like, make a little facial animation to overlay over someone's, like, avatar, but he does it for everybody. he must either be really good at it so it doesn't take him very long, or he just cares so much that he does it.
I think he spends all his time making them, and then he's just got them ready for every occasion.
Yeah.
He's probably just bored and drunk one night, and nothing better to do than pose Optimus Prime and make goofy faces on avatars.
There's a spoiler alert, but there is a slight chance that I will end up in his area of the country at some point this year, and I don't even want to think about the adventures that could ensue from that trip. Oh
man, you got to do a store run through the gauntlet.
Yeah.
Make sure you buy an extra luggage to take all your Miracle pianos back with.
I'm going to come home and I'm going to be like, guys, I don't know what's wrong with me, but I'm really loving calculators all of a sudden.
Well, he's not done though, right?
Oh no. I mean, it's, so again, it's going to start off sounding like he got a Panzer Dragoon.
What?
2.
Zwei.
That's
right. That's a cool game.
Yeah, it is a cool game. And Panzer Dragoon, I always write this down because whenever I see a Panzer, like even when like you see it in a store, it's like, oh, it's the regular one.
I have had a copy of the first one in the store for quite a while now, and yeah, I can't even count the amount of times people have done that.
Like, oh, you have Panzer. Oh, it's okay. That game's all right.
Man.
But no, Panzer 1 and 2, I've had for a long time. They're great. Great rail shooters. Did either of you guys play Crimson Dragon?
Nope.
No, I didn't hear good things, which is a shame because I really wanted to. Yeah,
I didn't hear good things either. I'm just curious because I was never like really great at those rail shooters, so I'm curious about how it is from someone who kind of knows those. But yeah, I haven't heard a ton of great stuff.
Which is I've got the rest of the series except for the Game Gear games. So
wasn't it download only?
Yes.
Yeah, I'll never play it. Otherwise, I would have tried it at least.
Yeah, I thought there was a disc, but I guess maybe not.
No, I think it's just a download.
Thinking of like Child of Eden, that had a disc.
Yeah,
you're right. Yes,
Child of Eden is cool.
That one's
Child of Eden is really cool.
Even with the Kinect, it's cool. It's like the only fun Kinect game.
Hey, wait a minute.
Like you are the controller, so it's great. If you haven't played Child of Eden, and I'm sure Zag Nortz got it at some point, so we can talk about it in this segment. You basically stand in front of the screen and like you're, kind of, it's just great. And the way they mix the music in with the gameplay is really cool. And, how you like have like a hi-hat, hand. It's great. He kind of switches it up a tiny bit. In this game, I don't know, it always stands out to me. Like, I think people forget what an impact Resident Evil 2 had on the PlayStation 1.
Oh, wait, you didn't do it right. You gotta do it.
Well, you can do it if you want.
Resident Evil 2. You gotta do the voice.
How many times did you play Resident Evil 2?
Holy crap, I can't even imagine.
100.
I don't know if I'd say 100, but...
Yeah, I can't even imagine.
I beat the whole game several times. Both discs.
I don't consider myself, even back then, I don't consider myself a survival horror guy. Like, I pretty much just played it just to try it out, and I never put it down. I definitely played through that game, like, minimum 3 or 4 times with each disc.
Oh, man. When you could get the shotgun and you could aim up and blow the heads off the zombies, that was the best
so
thing.
Awesome. And I do remember the first few times I played it, I got halfway through, and I'm, like, running out of ammo, and I'm like, dude, it's almost like they're not giving me enough ammo to kill everything in the game.
Yeah.
And it's like, yes, that is exactly what they're doing.
You have to get creative with the knife.
Yeah. I mean, like, I guess people like that tension feeling of, like, running through a crowd of zombies.
Definitely.
once you get comfortable with that feeling, you do better. But like, I was so uncomfortable just running through crowds of zombies for the longest time in that game.
Can I just say, am I the only person that can't believe that there's a million other zombie games out here now, but Resident Evil won't go back to just zombies again?
I don't think you're alone on that.
I mean, I'm dying to go back to a Resident Evil game where it's just,
So as someone who hasn't played the last several, 5 and 6 are not zombies?
No, not really.
Is it like a Dead Rising infection type deal?
You've played them, right, Crabby?
No, 4 soured me on the series. I kind of stopped them after that. Except
it's
for
basically
the
whatever happened in
ones.
4.
Yeah, what did they call them? I forget.
Granados or something like that.
Some
Spaniards?
Spanish sounding.
Yeah, it's just those guys basically in other places. It's that same kind of infection thing.
Yay.
No, not really. I just want shambling zombie. I mean,
yeah,
that's what I want.
You want the shambling corpse of Larry King walking after you.
Well, remember when they did the one on GameCube and they had like the crimson zombies? Those guys were tough.
They were freaking scary.
Yeah.
The last, I know Crabby doesn't like the series, but the last dude in a Resident Evil game that really scared me is like that baghead chainsaw guy from 4.
Was that 4 or 5?
That was 4.
That was 4.
Yeah,
okay.
I've never played 5, and I know exactly what he's talking about.
There's a chainsaw guy in 5 too.
So Chainsaw Guy and Mercenaries too.
Yeah. Too bad, Resident Evil, but 2 was great.
2 was great.
Awesome. 2 and Code Veronica are kind of personal favorites of mine. So whenever I see a copy of 2, I always give it a little thumbs up. Hey, Duke, what's the best Tempest game?
That would be Tempest 2000.
And if you have a Saturn, is that game available for it?
That game is technically available on the Sega Saturn.
What do you mean technically available?
There's a port of it on the Sega Saturn, I would say. Yes.
Oh, so you're just saying that this is not the version to own.
I'm saying this is not the best version of Tempest 2. It's not bad.
Right.
You gotta get
but
the
it was
Jaguar
not-
or what?
So you wouldn't scoff at it.
I would not throw it out the window, but
Oh, so you would scoff at it.
I would say, why don't you just buy a Jaguar and get
Why
the real
don't you
version?
just tell me?
Exactly. Why wouldn't you just? I mean, okay, I could get this awesome game on a cartridge with no loading and is awesome, or I could get like a not so great disc-based equivalent.
Or you could get the
guy.
bootleg version, Tempest.
Yeah, Tempest. I was going to say that with this guy with his cart loving, when did Miyamoto jump on the cast?
Well, and there was a PlayStation version of this too. Where I was like Tempest X cubed or something, Tempest X or something. I don't remember what it was called.
I think that game was called Intelligent Cube.
Oh no, but yeah, no, just get a Jag. There's and that game, and that's all you need. That's all you need.
Get a Jag. It's literally the only game I will own on the Jag. I own the box and manual, so now I just need a Jaguar and the cart.
I know someone who's selling a Jaguar.
Maybe we'll talk.
I had to check out what that PlayStation one and it's Tempest X3 and Intergalactic Battlezone. Huge name.
It hurts the heart. That's all I can say.
Tempest, PlayStation, Dissidia, Duodecim.
It hurts.
So this is the first one of the group here, but this seems to be a little bit of the month of the official soundtracks.
Can I just say, what the heck is going on?
Seriously. Well, it's been known for a long time that a lot of people on the site are really into soundtracks. Just for some reason, there's never been like the volume of people picking up soundtracks and posting pictures of them in like, a 2 or 3 month span. But there are a lot of really good soundtracks.
I think one member kind of acted as like the catalyst for that. Really got it going.
Yeah,
I think you're probably right.
Maybe I would just suggest, there's like a separate toy collector thread. Maybe there needs to be an OST thread.
No, not if it's game related.
Hey, was it segregation? You want them to sit on the back of the bus?
Separate but equal, right? Isn't that how it works?
We'll give them their own bus.
Great, you're going to paint me as a racist.
No, a soundtrackist.
There we go.
So getting back to Zach Norch, who was picked up the Skyrim official soundtrack. The main reason I listed this in here, besides the fact that I love Skyrim and that I love Skyrim's music, I think the packaging for this soundtrack is unbelievably beautiful. It's you kind of have to like Skyrim to care about it, but it's like that for most soundtracks. So I just wanted to throw it in there. It's the first of many soundtracks picked up in this period.
Every time I think Skyrim, I think of that, whatever that opening song is, right? Like, la la la, la la la, la 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 la. You know what I mean?
Yes, I do. Like,
yeah. Every time you're like, that's it, Skyrim.
Absolutely, yeah.
I would have no idea if there's any other music in that game at all.
It just loops. I really, really, really like the first main town you get into with what do you call it? Oh crap! I'm blanking because we're having so much fun.
Skyrim City.
Yeah, Skyrim City, the capital of Skyrim.
That's right.
I just love the walking around town music. I love all that music. It's great. So the next thing that Zagnorch got, and I like my big box PC games, he got a big box copy of Neverwinter Nights.
That's a thing.
It is. Have you guys heard of Neverwinter Nights?
Of course.
No, I have no idea.
Really? You've never heard?
Really?
I don't ever play PC games, and I am very familiar with that. That's surprising to me.
Why don't you just tell me about that?
Neverwinter Nights is from a company that doesn't make any games that you care about called BioWare.
Oh! Color me interested.
Now I love Neverwinter Nights. Yeah, so Neverwinter Nights it was developed by BioWare, kind of when they were, still pretty new. It was in the early aughts, I believe. And it's a D&D game. So it's licensed, I don't think it plays like D&D because it kind of it's kind of like a Dragon Age on the PC, Diablo type, kind of dungeon crawler type game, but since it's licensed by D&D, you have all that canon to go along with it. So, yeah.
So,
Neverwinter Nights.
Just PC, is it the only place that's on?
Yep.
Yes.
Next!
That's why you don't know about it.
Yeah, alright. Well, that's a thing.
So after Neverwinter Nights, he went ahead and he passed up on a Boxed Miracle, partially because it was for the PC, and partially because it wasn't in great shape. But he just like Indiana Jones at the end of Last Crusade, he had to let it go.
We don't talk about that game yet.
I will say though that he was nice. He PM'd me and he was like, "I'll go by there again to see if there's a foot pedal in it for you." And there wasn't.
Oh,
there wasn't.
What a guy! Well, because the guy right before him took it out. And then,
he probably took it out for himself.
Yeah, pocketed it, and I had to honorable mention for one of the greatest games on the Xbox 360 that he picked up. His final pickup that we will mention, even though he made many more, Crackdown.
Oh, Crabby, you gotta get Crackdown.
Oh,
man.
play Crackdown.
You've got to have 10 copies in your store, right?
I actually don't get it in all that often. People are holding on to it, or they just didn't buy it. One of the two.
No one wants to give it up.
I see it once in a while. I'll give it a try. You guys sell it enough.
But it's not like you see it because people sell it. You're only getting copies from people whose estates have to be liquidated because they've gone insane and they're in an asylum.
It's probably $1. I mean, there are so many copies.
It's cheap. I'll do it. And I'll let you guys know.
That would be awesome.
We'll do the crack cast.
That's every show.
And we'll get it. Yeah, we'll get a whole new audience who's looking for a different kind of show.
Speaking of people on crack.
Yeah, the one of the subjects of Zag's Avatar foolery,
who also loves calculators.
Also loves calculators and beer and Blade Runner and the 32X, man after my own heart, Nupoil. So Nupoil, of course, you can tell I wrote the script. Blade Runner on Laserdisc.
Nice.
Is that a special edition or anything?
It is not. The one that Blade Runner fans are kind of always on the lookout for is the Criterion Edition Laserdisc. I don't think it's terribly expensive. You just don't see it a whole lot. It's the it was kind of the version in between the original that was released and then the final cut that ended up coming out like in the late 90s. But still, you have a large record-sized thing that says Blade Runner, so win.
That you could play Frisbee with and blind people at 50 feet.
No, all you need is a Pioneer Laser Active, and you're in business.
I'm sure he has 5.
And you're cooking a stew. So, besides laser discs that are awesome, there's a couple of 32X games he picked up. Speaking of, hey, Crabby, you were wondering which 32X games you should start with.
I don't think those are the ones for me.
I don't think one of them is one for you.
I think the other one's not either.
So Doom and Star Wars, actually, believe it or not, is a really good co-op game. And it's one of those games where like the game's exactly the same with 2 people. It's just like, you have another person who's able to shoot on the screen at the same time. So the game becomes half as easy with that second person, depending on their skill level. So besides Blade Runner Laserdisc and 32X Doom and 32X Star Wars, he's also picked up a new life. Because now he has 32X games and Blade Runner on Laserdisc.
There's no other joy than
just pack it in.
Those are baby making items.
Oh yeah.
Well, congratulations.
So again, I know people picked up more stuff than this, but we're already doing a terrible job at trying to get through small scores in less than a day. So we're gonna keep it moving. To one of my favorite members.
To be ironically named.
Yeah. Sloman.
That's right. Ivan Irving Sloman, right?
It has to be yeah, and he's got the shield. So Sloman, and one of the reasons he got one awesome, hard to find unlicensed game in Tengen Tetris. Boxed. I didn't see a manual. I'm going to give him benefit of the doubt that there is a manual in there.
Best version of Tetris. I'm just saying it right now.
So Tengen Tetris, and the other thing he picked up that I wanted to make a comment on is he picked up a Rock Band guitar, one of the wireless Rock Band guitars, for $5.
Awesome.
And he made a comment in there. He said, I pick these up whenever I see them because I really think that within a short amount of time, a few years, they're going to be really, really hard to find. There's going to be people who, want to play these games again. I could not agree more. I pick these up for $3 to $5 whenever I see them too. I like them to be working and in decent condition. But I've already got, my buddy who runs the game store. He says he can't keep them in stock and he's selling them for like $20-$25. So my advice would be to grab these cheap while you can if you have the storage space and roll the dice on a good investment.
Yeah,
I hate them. Hate them so much.
You have too many of them coming in?
Yeah, they're just they take up so much room. They're the worst.
Yeah.
There are definitely a ton of people looking for them, and I wish there weren't.
Why don't you sell them for loonies?
I do. I sell them for dirt cheap. I still,
Really?
I want them out as quick as possible because they are so big.
Why don't you get wall guitar hangers to just line the wall with guitars?
Oh, that's not worth the effort. Nope.
Yeah, I've got a nice little set too. I think I've probably got about 4 or 5 guitars and a couple drum sets. Because people just go, "Hey, you want this stuff? Okay."
All right, and that's it for Sloman. I agree with his Rock Band theory, even though Crabby has some strong words.
He's if he's got the room for it, go nuts. I think he's right too. That's not what I'm upset about.
Okay, so you have a personal grudge with the hardware.
There's just so much space they take up in the store that I could be putting other more interesting things in.
I agree, they're not as interesting as other things.
Unless you're playing Rock Band.
Well, if they were Guitar Hero guitars coming in, I'd have no problem with it.
I will go ahead and agree with you. I think Rock Band's the better game. Guitar Hero's the better guitar.
I don't know, man. Those latter Rock Band guitars were really good.
What do you mean? The ones from Part 3?
Yeah.
The keyboards?
Yeah, the keyboard's pretty good too.
Keyboard wasn't bad.
And you could
Guitar.
But I've got the Pro, guitar.
You have the Mustang?
Yeah.
Oh, I want the Mustang.
Yeah.
I can't find. I saw one at Game Exchange a while ago for $50, and I was like, And it was like new, and I was like, oh, that's actually not a bad price, but I'm going to pass right now. And I haven't seen one since. And I'm like, ugh, why couldn't I have just spent the $50?
Yup. It's pretty fancy.
Yeah, I'll get one eventually because someone later in the episode foreshadowing gets one. But yeah, the Mustang is definitely cool.
I bought that, and I've got the MIDI adapter so you can play full keyboard.
Yep, I walked by that when I worked at Best Buy. I walked by that thing every day for months. Like nobody wanted them.
But did you get one? You play?
Nope. I do, but yeah, I didn't get one.
Oh, all right.
It was always one of those things. Was like, maybe I'll get one eventually, and then I never did. So that's it for Sloman and our buddy Jan Soli, 66, big Mario Lemieux fan. He's just gonna come in, grab Gun Knack, and then drop the mic and peace out.
Such a good game.
It's a good drop.
Yeah. I thought you guys would enjoy that one.
What other awesome shooter can you kill giant bunnies in?
What about now? Who would you say on the show is the resident side-scrolling shooter? Or sorry, the side-scrolling shooter expert?
Duke. I enjoy them, but Duke's definitely the more experienced side-scrolling shooter fan.
So Duke, if I was going to pick up a copy of Gun Knack and a copy of Xanac, which one would you encourage me to play first?
Do you want challenge?
I'd like to be slowly introduced and then eventually have challenge.
Play Gun Knack.
Okay.
It's got a shop. There's upgrades. I think it's friendlier. Xanac is tough, but is a really very solid game.
It's more upgrades, though. That's always fun for new players.
Yeah, but it's a lot tougher to get started. I mean, it's kind of brutal up front, and you can't buy upgrades. That's kind of a nice thing about Gun Knack is it kind of takes the edge off a little bit, I think.
It's cost prohibitive to get Gun Knack over Xanac, though.
Well, Xanac is like dirt cheap, but he didn't ask that question. He didn't say if I only had $5.
All right.
I didn't.
All right.
I did not.
I would probably say buy Star Soldier, but...
I think that's one of the most underrated games, honestly. I think Star Soldier, like, not enough people have played Star Soldier.
Yeah, Star Soldier is good. Hector, whatever, is Starship Hector. Is
Starship Hector.
Not my favorite.
Was it a Hudson?
Here? Yeah, I'm trying to think of, like, in Japan it was like Hector 87. I don't remember who put that out. We've lost all of our listeners. Just
no, it's okay. That's all right. So it's very good with so Gun Knack. It's one of those carts that it's a tricky one to find. I've still not seen one in person, let alone a box copy. That's one of the ones that like gives me anxiety when I have to think about trying to find it boxed. But very nice pickup. Up next we have BRS 241
beers.
Love those beers. And since I mentioned it for Razor Knuckles. For Gamer Nick with all his Super Metroid Player Guide, I gotta mention it when Beers grabs a whole bunch of really awesome Nintendo powers and guides, like really really good, like like the covers that like everyone knows that cover, like all those Nintendo powers are the ones he got, and it's just great to see those all together.
I don't have a lot of regrets in life, but getting rid of all my gaming, well, not most of my gaming mags, that's a big one. I kept everything else, so I just really wish I would have kept that stuff. But that's awesome. Awesome to get that stuff.
Oh, it was just so cool. He also was able to grab a loose CDX.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
I mean, I remember I had a friend that bought one when it came out. We used to play over his house, but quite literally, that and the one that's at the store that they won't sell. Here in town are the only ones I've seen locally at all.
The only one I remember vividly seeing a new in box at Toys R Us when the thing was new for like the $390 whatever dollars they were asking for it when it came out. I remember thinking like, oh, that is just the coolest, because like portable CD players were kind of cool back then.
Yeah,
that was like
they're still
that's
cool.
all there.
They're still cool.
That's all there was.
So are fanny packs.
People think you're joking. You're literally using a portable CD player and a fanny pack at this moment.
I got one of those sweet like pink neon Game Boy fanny packs traded in a few months ago.
Oh.
And I wear it around the store. It's awesome. It's so handy.
That's how you make change?
Well, yeah, like I don't have one of those sweet like arcade owner belts, so I got the bucket full of
5
quarters.
equals 10. There you go. Oh, good stuff. So yeah, Loose Vegas EDX, which is just so awesome. He also got a whole bunch of loose Pokemon games. I'm no expert, but it might have been all of the Pokemon games on the Game Boy and GBA.
That's a lot.
Yeah, it was a nice little loose lot. And on top of that, Link's Awakening, Mega Man, was in that little Game Boy lot.
Nice.
I never played the Mega Man on Game Boy.
The first two are okay, and then they get much better after that.
And much more expensive.
Yes.
So I thought it was going to go the other way, but they improve.
No, the first two are kind of like mashups of the NES ones, like kind of weird ports of them, and they're not terrible. But then they turn into their own thing later on, and that's better.
Now, would those be the games that if you said, okay, if you're going to get a Super Game Boy, make sure you get these?
If you like action platformers, totally, absolutely, yeah. Mega Man, especially the later few on the Game Boy, they're totally worth checking out.
Nice. All right. So after the Game Boy stuff, I love stuff like this. So he picked up a boxed NES action set. It's got the store, like the customer pickup tag on it. It's like either, and it looks like it's ordered like over the phone because, no internet back then.
Yeah,
and it's got like the dude's like name written on it, like hold for Charlie M or whatever. I love stuff it's kind of like to me, like when you find a game and it's got like the original receipt from like 92 in there or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh, I love finding stuff like that.
That's some kid's Christmas present right there, right?
Yep. Oh, it's so cool.
And it'd be great. Do you ever want to think like if you could just track down this person? Like I see so many like names on cartridges. Wouldn't you just love to find one of them and be like, here it is, man?
And it'd be a great movie. Like, and then like at the end of the movie, it's raining and they're outside and they finally, he's like, are you Gerald? I have your DuckTales.
I did have one cart one time that actually had like an address label on it. I was half tempted to really just,
I just cleaned one of those off the other day too. I don't see addresses very often.
I was tempted to try to get a hold of them, but I didn't.
You should. That should be your resolution for the next one of those that you find.
What I did get a little while back though, and a lot that I picked up was one of the cartridges in the lot had the rental stickers on it from the same rental store I used to always go to as a kid. That's
cool.
Yeah. It was the Video Corner was right down the street and, like all the, the rental stickers all over it. And I was like, wow, that takes me back.
Yeah. I'd love to find something locally with like we had a place, I know like the name sounds kind of like it's implying something, but our video rental place was called Video Fantasies.
Yeah. Nice. They had that special room in the back.
Yeah. Full of Nintendo games. And yeah, so I'd love to find something with like a Video Fantasy sticker on it. That's actually kind of really, you've awoken something in me.
I bet they're out there, Bill. Start looking. Put a Craigslist ad out. You'll get some.
Oh yeah, because that's,
you'll get a total Video Fantasy with the Craigslist ad.
I'll show you my video.
I'm sorry, I shouldn't have posted this in the fantasy section. So anyway, beers. He also picked up arguably the best GBA SP.
I don't think there's any argument about it. That's the best one.
I don't have one.
I've been playing on mine lately, and it's great.
No, wait a minute.
You get the classic NES GBA.
No, actually, there is a Famicom GBA.
That's why I said just because that you were on the call with us. That's why I said possibly, because I knew that you'd be into the Famicom one.
It's awesome. I would love one.
Yeah, definitely great. He also got, and this is not a typo, he got a couple loose Genesees.
Wouldn't it be genocide?
No, that's like when you kill a whole bunch of people.
Genocide.
But no, there's there's enough Genesees for everybody. You don't have to resort to violence. So a couple of loose Genesees. This was really cool. He grabbed I think he said he was at a Goodwill, or like a similar store, and there was like a charcoal N64 box, and I think he said there was nothing in it, and they were like, "Oh, you can have that box for like $3 or whatever." And I think on that same post, he was like, "Yeah, like if anybody wants it, just let me know." So that was very awesome and nice of him. But since it was months ago, I'm sure it's already taken.
Oh yeah, I'm sure it's probably long gone.
And then I don't know if you saw this, Duke, the boxed Sega Master System stuff that he picked up.
Gosh, there were several people that over the last few months that have picked up some Master System stuff. So I don't recall offhand, but people have been picking up, Master, especially like I remember Sir Psycho's picked up some good games here very recently. Maybe that's foreshadowing. I don't know. I didn't write this, but
Engineer Mike keeps coming into the show to show me his into the store to show me his Master System stuff.
Yeah. Engineer Mike, we might need some extra time.
Yeah, got some deep pockets.
Yeah, Engineer Mike and Techie had themselves a time in the last few months. But yeah, so very, very good stuff from Beers up there. So keep up that good work. And mortgage be damned. Just keep buying games. Just keep doing it.
It's only bankruptcy. They won't take your games.
No, yeah, they won't go after your kids. They will go after your kids. So Silver 80 is up next. So not a ton, but stuff that I thought bears mention. I think this was all just one post. Just a bunch of great Genesis games. And I know everyone says like, oh, you guys are Nintendo biased. I think we like some Genesis.
I love Genesis. All of us can agree that all of these are solid games.
Oh,
Gunstar Heroes.
Awesome.
Right? Everyone thumbs up.
The graphic effects on that game were just crazy at the time.
Mm-hmm. Gunstar Heroes is fantastic. Streets of Rage, the Orig.
The best
Almost as good.
Almost as good as Streets 3, is what you're going to say?
Oh, yes. For sure.
Everything can't be Final Fight Guy.
Well, that's true.
So you get Sonic 3.
That's where I never played much Sonic 3.
Oh, I got to tell you,
it's good.
I played more 2 than anything else.
Yeah, me too.
And 3, I didn't play a ton. I played a little bit, and I was like, oh, this is cool, but like I'm not really into Sonic anymore. And then like I remember years later finding like an EGM magazine, and I was like, EGM gave Sonic 3 a 10? Why didn't I play that game more? And then I went back and played it a bunch more, and I love Sonic 3.
That was the game and system that my grandma bought for us. When you come to visit and they want something cool for the kids to do, but it's not cool anymore because like PlayStation's out.
Right.
But
I got this for $10.
Yeah, so I would go over there and play Sonic 3 all the time. I still thought it was cool.
Get in here, Crabby.
No, I couldn't get any of my cousins to play with me or anything because it wasn't cool anymore. But loved it.
Did you?
Awesome.
Did you have lock-on power?
Eventually, yes.
Oh man, I remember that was such a big deal. Sega has lock-on technology.
It was really cool. We used to rent every game we could get our hands on to just see what happened when you put them on the lock-on.
When you put the Sonic 3 expansion on?
No,
like Sonic and Knuckles, right?
Knuckles.
Nothing gets by Crabby scans the document for typos, and he says, I can't wait to say this. I can't wait.
I get so excited about red squiggly lines. They're like the best.
Oh, so good. Yeah, Sonic 3 and definitely Sonic and Knuckles. And I remember that it was an experience. Like, I went to a friend's house, and it's like, okay, put it on Sonic 1, see what happens. Put it on Sonic 2. Put it on freaking NHL. I want to see if Sonic can be played in the hockey game. Like,
it would have been so cool if there was an Easter egg like that in just something that wasn't Sonic, where he just popped up.
Wouldn't that be amazing? And
yeah, like Vector Man, all of a sudden you're Sonic with like these little ball guns or something. I don't know.
It could totally, like, like how like there's like Easter eggs that are discovered like 17 years later. Like, it could be out there. You should be like putting that on every game.
Has anybody tried Balls 3D in Sonic and Knuckles yet? I'm gonna try it as soon as we're done. That's it.
Oh man. But we're not done with him yet, right?
No. So after all the the nice good non-sports Genesis games through there, he got a Mutant League Hockey, which is I don't know if you guys have been paying attention. It's been slowly creeping up in price the last year or so.
Yep, that's one of the ones I regret selling in the store when I first opened.
Why did that series die?
I don't know, because that was it had to be because it didn't sell well, right? Because if it sold well, they'd keep doing them. But it's one of those things that, like, you know, it was out. I guess it didn't really sell like gangbusters. And then years later, like when you look at it, you're like, whoa, that's a pretty cool, like, I would love to play a game like that. Like, where are those games? And like, oh, you mean like the ground opens up? That's awesome. There are zombies on the field. This is great. You can, like, kill the ref. Yes, where did I put the quarter?
The football's a bomb.
Yep.
We rented that, you know, Mutant League football like crazy when I was a kid. It was great.
Yeah, Mutant League games. I wouldn't be surprised if they came back.
Is there anything comparable? Like, is Blitz the closest thing they have?
I was just thinking that. Yeah, I played the hell out of Blitz when it was on PlayStation with a couple buddies, and I just remember, you know, like no pun intended, like you blitz every single play. And then once you tackle the guy, you like ran up to him and like jumped on him like right before the right before like the cutscene would cut away. But yeah, Blitz is the only thing to me that's like anywhere close.
Wasn't there some NFL Street or something like that game a while back?
Yeah, but I don't think it was so much like the violence and like the no penalties as much as it was like, oh, this is like, you know, 2-on-2 football.
Oh yeah, okay.
Like the NBA Jam of football?
Exactly, yeah.
No, that was Blitz. Blitz was the NBA Jam of
No, because NBA Jam, it was just like a 2-on-2 type thing. It wasn't like full on basketball. Blitz was like an entire football team. It was like, it looked like you were playing like an NFL game, but there were no penalties, no rules.
I was thinking, but there was like a ballers game too, right? NBA, like a ballers game.
You're right. And like the title was like written in bling. And yeah, I've never heard of a single person who's played it, so I couldn't tell you what it was about. I'm not a basketball dude.
No clue.
But yeah, it's, I gotta tell you, like, speaking of NBA Jam, the new NBA Jam, like the one that I think was on, 360 and PS3 a couple years ago, is really good. Like, it's exactly the way you remember it.
It was awesome.
Oh, it's fantastic.
Except for my stupid brother keeps beating me at it.
Oh.
Is Bill Clinton in it?
You know what? They have their own like newer, more relevant characters. Like they'll have Obama in it instead of Clinton.
Oh, what Canadian is in it?
Yeah, why not the Queen? Is Mike Myers in it?
The most famous Canadian, the Queen.
Mike Myers?
Oh, I hope not.
Is the King of Canada in there?
The King is there. He's in everything we put out.
Okay.
It's mandatory that he gets an appearance in every form of media.
Is that the Burger King?
Yes.
He looks more like the Jack in the Box guy with the crown.
Okay.
With a single smiley face. All right. So that is Silver. Good job with your lot of excellent Genesis games. And let me know if you want to play anything. Okay. Now this next one here. Now,
can I ask you a question before we start?
Yeah, sure.
How can you misspell Knuckles and then spell Phantasmagoria correctly?
Well, Phantasmagoria, there's really only one way to spell it. Also, I did, you know, you can tell that like if it's egregious, I will go back and fix it. If I can tell what I wanted to say when I look at it, I'm like, yeah, I can live with that typo.
It's good enough. Good enough.
So Techie, oh man, he's every once in a while I kind of like gonna lose track of the site for a little bit, and like I'm not on the forums for like a couple days or a couple weeks or whatever, and then I always try to come back and catch up. But going through all these scores over the last few months and seeing just how many times Techie's name came up, but also the size and the quality of some of the lots he's picking up, it's that same combination of like, you know, crazy impressive and jealousy that I get with, you know, Zagnorch's scores and like some of the other guys who just find a ton of great stuff. I don't know what Techie's doing out there. But first thing he picked up that Crabby will appreciate, a whole bunch of Ninja Turtles figures.
Awesome.
He also got the, I forget what the vehicle was called, but it was like the pizza thrower, like that vehicle that like, you like stack the plastic pizzas in the top and then like you press the button and like it would like fling them out.
And one of them made it to your house somehow?
Yeah, I actually found a pizza from this toy in my basement. Like just a few days before I saw this. So I was actually gonna ask Techie if he needs an extra pizza, because if he wants it, it's his. It's probably moldy 'cause it's been in my basement for a while, but no, the sticker looks pretty good. So yeah, he also the turtle. What was the turtle's car called? Their van?
The party wagon.
Party wagon, right? So he got a party wagon boxed. I mean, a lot of the turtle stuff he got was just kind of loose figures, but got a boxed party wagon. Which I have a short story for this. I know I ramble, but when we were in high school, one of the science challenges, they said, okay, you have a brick and you have a rubber band. You have to build something so that just using the rubber band and not touching the brick, you get the brick to go the furthest. So a lot of people got soap and put it on the floor and tried to fling the brick. A lot of people did all sorts of other stuff. I brought in my Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle party wagon. I put the brick on top of the party wagon, and then we just flung the party wagon with this. So he went all the way across the room, so we had to leave the room and go in the hallway so that there was enough room for the party wagon carrying the brick to go 30 feet that I think we ended up getting it to go. So that's always what I think of when I think of the Ninja Turtle party wagon.
Did you guys win? Were you the farthest?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh,
yeah, it wasn't
awesome.
even close.
It's so great.
It wasn't even close. Ninja Turtles party wagon won science that day.
That's just because no one thought to bring the blimp.
Yeah. Or the freaking the Technodrome.
Oh, there you
go. And staying with he also got a boxed NES Advantage, which I love that controller. And I'm not seeing a whole lot of boxes for that lately. I wonder if that can start creeping up. But sticking with the Ninja Turtle theme, Crabby, do you have a favorite arcade cabinet that you own right now?
Yeah, but it's probably not the one that you're suggesting. It'd still be up there, though.
But it's a cabinet that you love, right?
Absolutely.
Is the first one you ever got?
It is the first one I ever got.
So the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles cabinet that Techie grabbed for a really good price.
Actually,
that is in really good shape.
I have to say that's a lie, sir. It's the second one I ever got.
Oh, okay. Well, good. I'm glad we cleared that up.
Yeah.
I'm sure your conscience was bugging you for the 2 seconds that
it was.
The fact checkers were out there.
So awesome job on the Ninja Turtle cabinet. It's still a cabinet that I check Craigslist for every couple of weeks. Not that I could afford it or have the space for it. I'm just kind of hoping for that $50, come and get it. Those guys.
You'll just get so sick of the first 20 seconds of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle theme.
Oh, I haven't turned the attract sound off in my store. So we've been open for 10 and a half months now. I've literally listened to that for at least 6 hours a day for 10 months now. Still not bored of it.
And you're
Cowabunga!
Can you give it to us real quick?
Yeah.
Just the whole thing. Start from Kids Don't Do Drugs.
Oh, no. Just the music. I don't watch it. I just listen to it.
Oh,
it's
okay.
got the first 15 seconds of the theme song looping.
Oh, right. So when the light comes out of the sewer
and they jump out,
it shoots the
does that sound,
yep.
and then the song starts.
Oh, that's great. Great game.
Moving on.
Oh, are you setting me up to move on?
I think so.
Oh, okay.
Oh, we're never going to get through Techie.
He also got a Ninja Turtle cabinet. On top of the Ninja Turtle cabinet, he got, would you guys say the coolest Dreamcast system?
Engineer Mike convinced me that this is the Dreamcast that I need. Because
the Sega Sports Dreamcast?
Yes. Because, and it's annoyed the crap out of me since he told me, and I had no problem with it for years and years and years. I've owned the white one for almost a decade. All of my Sega systems match to the same color except for that one, and I never realized it until he said it, and now it's driving me nuts that I got this ugly white one. I want the black one.
Now it's you got Canadian flags next to
exactly.
American flags in your collection there.
Oh. Well, I'm sure you'll have some come in, so don't worry.
Yeah, I'm waiting for it. I had one come in and I sold it to Mike, and then he pointed that out after I sold it to him.
That's
Rubbing it
awesome.
in.
Yeah.
That's awesome. We'll see if we have time to get to Mike in a little bit. Yeah, so Techie, after his Sega Sports Dreamcast, very, very nice. A whole bunch of NES carts. I could be wrong, but I didn't see anything like super stand out in there. But still, not a lot of bad games on the system. There's like 700 good ones. So got some good stuff in there. Techie's a big Skylanders dude, just like Zag and Shadow and a bunch of other members on the site. I'm unfortunately not great at identifying what's good and not good, so I apologize if he got like some super rare, like Bloodzort Thorn Treewood Sea guy.
I think
don't know
that
if
is
he
the
got a good
rarest one.
That's the best guy?
That's the rarest one.
Oh yeah, he got two of them. He got the crystal one.
So condescending.
I just know I'm trying to be inclusive. I just don't know. It's like with Pokemon when someone's like, "Oh, I got a Pika Bomb." I'm like, "Okay, what is that?" "Oh, he's like an electric Pikachu that blows up when you evolve him." I just don't know. But I'm sure the Skylanders Techie got.
It's so funny how all the words you said like make sense to Pokemon, but not together.
Because that's what everyone talks about. They're like, "Oh, the Ultra Mega Turtle." Like, oh, cool. My friend's got a shirt it's. I guess there's like one Pokemon that is terrible until he evolves, and then he's like one of the best.
There's
Does that
several.
make sense?
There's a bunch of those. Yeah.
Okay, so like
Is that Pookie Pie?
The T-shirt, yeah, the T-shirt's Pookie Pie, and like the voice bubble on him is like. It is like as soon as I evolve, I am going to destroy you. And I didn't get it. And he had to explain to me, "Oh no, because he's really, really, really bad until you evolve him."
Dingle Derp? Is that,
Yeah. No, I think it was Pookie Bear.
Okay. All right.
Was it a fish? Was it like a Magikarp?
Maybe. I don't know what's
Oh
going
man,
on.
we're losing listeners
you're losing
as we speak.
So, now Duke, you're a big magazine guy. Were you into the official Xbox magazine?
No, I really stopped mags, I think, by around then. I kind of stuck with EGM until it died the first time, just because I had read it forever. Amen.
And then you picked up Zombie EGM?
Well, no, they like died and
Right.
magically started sending me Maxim magazines to fill my subscription. And
it's like when like Sega.net members became Earthlink members overnight.
Yeah. Well, explain to your young daughters why you're getting Maxim magazine in with the mail.
That's why they call it the mail.
You're like, "Oh yes, this is a wonderful way to portray women." on
Showed
the
up
cover.
in the mailman's mailbag, right?
That's right. That's right. An old mailbag dropped off the Maxim magazines. Yes,
So, yeah,
I had to call them and say, "No, I want money. I didn't order this."
So yeah, Techie got a whole bunch of. I actually really like the official Xbox magazine. I think it's got a really cool look. Just that big black and green, Microsoft X on it. So yeah, I thought those were pretty cool.
I
He
picked
got a
up
whole bunch of. Oh, go ahead.
So I was gonna say I picked up like a big bunch of like 70 of them a while back, and I was really excited because I never read them before, and it just reinforced in me how little I care about most Xbox games. There was like no articles I could find that were interesting in any of the 70 that I had.
We could probably cut that out in post.
All right.
Sporty sports and shooty shoots. Xbox.
Do you like sports? Do you like boats with guns? You're gonna
Go
love
play
Bloodway.
Sporty Sports Shoot Shoot 3. Only on Xbox.
Play what is it that Rich always says?
We can't say that on air.
Does he say like, "Oh, that game is so dude, bro"?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Xbox was the dude broiest system at the
Well,
time.
do you know what game is not dude bro?
But
The next one.
Phantasmagoria 2.
I'm pretty sure that's probably the least dude bro game.
Do you remember the subtitle for that game, or like the subtitle?
No, I don't.
A Puzzle of Flesh. It had a dude on the front of this game that was kind of like pulling, like kind of just looking down. Imagine like Hulk Hogan like pulling his shirt off, but like he was doing that with like the skin on his like trunk.
That sounds terrible.
The reason I wanted to play Phantasmagoria 2 so badly, and I still never have, Phantasmagoria 1 is one of my favorite point-and-click horror adventure games. It was full motion video, so it was like real people on pre-rendered backgrounds. But it was really, really awesome. It was a great game.
It's like Seventh Guest style?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly like that. Like totally CD guys over pre-rendered stuff, but you're like a woman who just moved into like this mansion with your husband, and like you're just trying to like, you know, find your way around places, and like you start, all this weird stuff starts happening, and like people start like, you know, people start disappearing in town, and like you find out that it's because of the evil in this house. Really, really, really great game. Now, Phantasmagoria 2 is not supposed to be as good as the first one, and it has nothing to do with the story, but I still wanted to play it. And you know, when you're like a young man, maybe girls too, but you know, when you're like a young man and like there's like a movie that like you hear like might have nudity in it, and you're like, I have to see that movie. Like I need to see that. So,
well, yeah.
Back when video games like
see
really
that movie, it was
yeah.
awesome.
That was Total Recall. So like back when like video games really didn't have like, you know, any nudity in them, just violence. I saw the rating for this game, and it was like rated like 17 plus for like language, violence, and nudity. And I was like, oh, I gotta play this game. And I was never allowed to, and I still have not played it.
I'm sure it's no plumbers don't wear ties.
No, it can't be.
What can live up to that?
So anyway, after my drawn-out Phantasmagoria 2 story, that is why that game made the list. The next, I think the story he had on this next one is great. So I think he said he was at work, and he saw a Craigslist lot for like, it was like, oh, Craigslist, Nintendo 64 lot, $50, like come get all this stuff. And he said he went to, like on his lunch break, he just like went over to check it out, and he was gone for like over an hour and a half. And he comes back with a boxed N64, like 100 box copies of Star Fox 64. Like probably like only like 4 or 5, but still like when you see that many lined up, he got complete box NES games, including Micro Machines, Gradius or Gradius, depending on where you hail from. Harlem Globetrotters. He got like, it looks like every cardboard Sega CD game.
Yeah, I saw that was pretty amazing.
Oh, that was so cool.
That was a cool picture.
The only two that I have are Sewer Shark and Hook, and I gotta tell you, I think Hook is a super underrated Sega CD game. I think that game is terrific. He also got Monkey Island, Wonder Dog, Final Fight, Time Gal, like, Jaguar was in there. Like, I'm not a cardboard expert like Shadow Kisaragi is, or like at least enthusiast, but it sure looked like it was every Sega CD cardboard game.
Missing a few, but I mean, there was a lot. There was definitely a lot. Because there was, at the weird time, because when Sega CD first started, they had cardboard, and then they finally eventually switched over to those jewel cases, which was just weird. I don't know what happened.
Yeah, and it didn't take that long, because there's not a ton of cardboard games.
No, just like that first big set.
Yeah, I wonder if did it take them all the way until the Model 2 came out? Because when the Model 2 came out is when you kind of started seeing like, you know, like that blue band on the side of the jewel cases. And that's how the Model 2 was marketed as well. So I wonder if that's how long it took them.
I don't recall. I mean, I want to say that the first in-case Sega CD game I remember buying was probably
NHL 94.
No,
I mean for me.
Mortal Kombat or maybe Sylphid. So I don't know.
Mortal Kombat was so early. It like the picture on the cover art was a CD.
Yeah, it was just
so you know what's in this box. It looks exactly like this.
And it was just the Genesis game with like some full motion video.
Oh no! You had the added feature of loading screens.
Yeah. Yeah, you just had that like horribly grainy Mortal Kombat commercial at the front of it. Yeah, it was pretty bad.
That's right. They had the dude screaming, and then you had the music video.
Yeah, pretty much. And the crowd rushes and.
Yeah, we are really making Isrit's day right now.
Yeah, we are.
We got to make up for not talking about Mortal Kombat X last time.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, we
did such a bad job.
We dropped that.
We did.
Sure did.
It wasn't announced at E3. It didn't count.
But getting back to Techie to round him out, right?
Yeah. So there's we've mentioned for a couple other members already, but he too in the month of classic Nintendo powers and game guides. And one of the ones that kind of stands out to me is like that, like Nintendo Game Atlas. Have you guys seen this thing?
Yes.
I love the Atlas. I've never seen one in person. I've only seen it like in threads when people pick one up. I'm not a huge paper guy, like with magazines and stuff, but I would love to get a whole bunch of like old Nintendo powers and game guides in the Atlas.
You know, cardboard's like one step away from paper, right?
No, you're generalizing, just like the Tempest racist over there.
Manuals are paper.
Yeah, that's true. But what good's a manual without a box to put it in?
It's great. You can read it.
Nah, I've got some books that I'm working on right now. I got a Kindle, so I'm kind of working on that.
Yeah.
I have all my entertainments separated.
You know what? You could pretend that you're going to print something out if you're going to type with your Dreamcast keyboard.
Oh, snap. So, and I think the Dreamcast keyboards, I think you got both boxes, like the original style, and then like that, like, the Web 2.0 box style.
Oh, man. You can browse the World Wide Web.
Well, you could have. You could have done so previously. Now, I think all you can do is, Quake 3 Arena.
No, you could still use it with your broadband adapter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess as long as you're feeding it something, can you imagine trying to find a site that works with the web browser from 15 years ago?
RFgeneration.com.
Just digitalpress.com.
Yeah. Oh, burn.
And there goes all our digital press listeners. And let's round him out, right?
Oh, speak and spell.
That's right.
Oh, I want one so bad. Every time I put on my ET t-shirt, I just wish that I could walk around with a speak and spell.
Yeah, I do remember those.
And he also got a present for me. He got a big box copy of, well, he just doesn't know it yet. He got a big box PC copy of TIE Fighter, which is what I had when I was a kid, and it is awesome.
Hint,
and
hint.
Now, if he can only find also a copy of X-Wing and X-Wing Alliance, and maybe Rebel Assault, Rebel Assault 2, just all the LucasArts Star Wars big box PC games, that would be fantastic. So very, very good little stretch there. And again, he got more stuff, but in the essence of trying to keep this a 6-hour show,
we better try harder.
We will end it there. So, moving on to Retro Rage. Retro Rage got some boxed TurboGrafx 16 games.
Yeah, Crabby going for Turbo, right?
Yeah, what did you get, Bill? Which ones?
I don't know.
I didn't write that far down.
Yeah, I didn't write that down. I was kind of in a hurry.
Didn't even get the page number. I can't go verify it.
You know what?
All the good ones.
All the good ones. He got like 4 Magical Chases in there, and Legend of the Hero Tanma, and all the good ones, right?
No, all the Magical Chases were for sale too, but I think they're gone.
I missed it.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure there was just like minty boxes of Keith Courage stacked.
if
China
only.
Warrior.
So you know what, Crab? It's the page number. It's somewhere between page 120.
Oh, man.
120 and 205?
Oh, no one is going to listen to us again. Mega Man X2! He got Mega Man X2!
Is that a thing? I thought it went right from X to X3.
No.
I think it's a fake.
I'm pretty sure it's pricey.
Yeah. It is. Mega Man X2 cart. You also got a Mega Man 7.
I do want Mega Man 7.
Have you played it?
Yeah. Way back when, but I don't have one.
It is like the worst Mega Man, but even like terrible Mega Man is like better than most other things.
It's no Mega Man 8.
So it's like pizza.
Yeah. Mega Man is the pizza of video games.
I will agree. It's not wonderful, but I still like a copy. That'd be good.
Now, you guys both have Conan for your Nintendos, right?
God, that game is so bad.
It's not that bad.
Oh, it's so bad.
It's not. It's fun.
It's bad.
Well, Retro Rage is now in the Conan cart.
So he needs to play it and break the tie here. We got one bad, one good vote. We need a tie breaker.
Yeah. And one no decision. And also, he got both of the KOTORs. And since you guys know what that means, you can go ahead and say it.
Knights of the Old Republic.
Correct. 1 and 2. I think like most people, quite a bit more of a fan of 1 than 2, but I've heard good things about 2 as well, so good for him.
Played them both. They're great. You get to have a droid in your party that loves to kill meat bags. What's wrong with that?
He plays Gears of War?
Kind of. I just love that. I would play those games again just to have his dialogue, because every time you like bring him on the missions and like somebody will have a problem and he's like, will you please just let me kill him, Master? And you're like, yes!
Awesome.
It was great.
All right, so that wraps Retro Rage up. We're going to try to quickly move along to Invader G2.
Well, he just picked up like all doubles here. We've already heard about these ones.
Well, not from him.
No, that's awesome.
I'm sorry. Did he just rob a bank or something?
Maybe.
I mean, seriously.
And I actually kind of went light on him, and he still got a lot of stuff.
Yeah. Well,
So he got a Solomon 2.
Yeah, Fire and Ice card.
Solomon's Key 2 card.
Awesome.
He got a... now, I couldn't quite tell this, and there you go, Crabby. I got you a page reference just so you can join in the funds. He got a Mega Man X. It looks like 2, but I'm not an expert.
All right, you go on. I'll start digging pages. We will find out.
Okay. Yeah, let me know if that is a Mega Man X2. It is a Mega Man X one of some sort. He picked up Rayman Legends on Xbox One. I'm a really big Rayman fan of the last several years. I didn't play a ton of the original, PlayStation Saturn ones, but Rayman Legends is fantastic.
Debuted on the Jag.
Oh, that's right.
Yep.
Wow. I always thought of it as like a Saturn PlayStation jam.
Nope. Debuted on the Jag. Pretty good platformer for the system, too.
Yeah. Was it as good as Gek?
Oh, God. Nothing can be as good as Gex. Oh, wow.
Gex the Gecko. What about Bubsy?
Oh, gosh.
I like Bubsy.
Bubsy on the Genesis
charming.
was really good. Yeah.
I
love it. There's this level. Do you remember the level? It was called A Bridge Too Fur.
Yep.
And that was like the pun. And every time you started the level, because I died a lot in that level and then it started again, he would say, more like a bridge too short. And then you would die, and then you'd say, more like a bridge too short. And then you would die, and then he would say, more like a bridge too short. And it was like, okay, I'm done with Bubsy.
Just gotta stop dying. That's the trick.
Yeah, no, that's not how I play.
I went to a friend's house. He picked up a Jag and like 12 games for it, and one of them was the Bubsy game on there, and I think we had the most fun with that one that night. It's just so addictive, no matter on what system.
Is that Bubsy 3D?
I don't think so. I think it had like a subtitle after it. A pretty long one, too, if I remember right.
Oh, they're all so bad. But a game that's not bad is
Yeah, you like
next.
this one, Duke?
Oh, yeah?
I've never played it.
Musha?
Never played Musha. I've heard a lot about it. I've seen Mulan, and Eddie Murphy did a fantastic job.
Not Mushu.
As Musha.
Musha.
But yeah, and then I forget who made the comment after this, but someone said like, yeah, I'm kind of seeing Musha around a lot of places recently, and I don't know if that's true or not, but I certainly don't see a ton of Musha just hanging around. So you own this one, or you played it?
No, I don't own it, but it's another compile shooter. So we were talking Xanac, we were talking Gunnac.
Mm-hmm.
But
What's
yeah.
the one on Super that you played at the hotel at Too Many Games?
Space Megaforce.
Yes. And I ask you about it every time because I can never remember the name, but like I could tell that I'd be bad at it just watching you play it. And you're like, yeah, sometimes I can get to this level, but sometimes I can't make it. I'm like, okay, well then I'm going to die right away.
Yeah. And there's, they did Power Strike. They did Robo Leste. They did, oh man, so many good shooters.
Giga Wing?
And they invented Puyo Puyo.
Oh, so Puyo, you mean with the pop?
There was a Puyo Puyo pop game. Yeah. And
So
now they're
after-
Compile Heart, and it's not very good.
It's like the very last Planeteer.
Something. Yeah. No.
Hey, Bill.
Yo.
We need to cue the correction music. It was actually a Mega Man X3, the big one.
Whoa!
So that is, yeah, it's I will tender my resignation for that error.
Man.
But yeah, so Mega Man X3.
They're both big games, but like X3 is worth like twice as much. It's crazy.
Yeah. That's a lot of money.
Are you guys willing to slow clap for that one, or is that a no slow clap? Can I tell you how much I love that part of Portal 2? Oh, when GLaDOS' slow clap circuit. Oh, good. My slow clap circuit's still working. That's good.
You know, I heard, and granted, I heard this on another podcast, but I don't remember which one I heard on. But you know that like the lady that did the voice for that, they actually ran the script through a text-to-speech thing, and she imitated it?
I have heard that.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
She's I can't remember. Her name is something. Is it Ellen something or other?
I don't know her name, but
yeah, no, she actually, if you play, I don't know if it was on the console versions, but on the PC version of Portal 2, there is a like a commentary option that while you play, as you go through the game, like little like bubbles come up and you can hit like E or your select button or whatever, and you'll hear developer and like cast commentary. So it's really cool. Like you'll get to a certain part and then it'll be her talking about, yeah, so this part, like it's almost like, you know, like a director's track on a Blu-ray, and just hearing her regular voice and trying to pick out the GLaDOS bits on it. It's like, oh yeah, that's her. So it was actually really interesting. I don't know if that feature was on the console versions though.
I don't know. Don't remember that part.
Yeah. So after Musha, you guys like Cowboy Kid?
It's not bad.
It's not a bad game.
I'm always curious to see which games of the harder to find games are actually good games.
Kelsey, you like that one?
Yeah, it's really interesting, unique. They tried a lot of cool stuff. It's fun.
Yeah, I mean, it's, I don't think it's like crazy hard. No, it's kind of, it's nice little, and it's Romstar, right? Yeah.
It's not hard like Darkman hard.
No. Much easier than Darkman.
Yeah, Darkman. I'm like half an hour getting through like the first half of level 1.
I know I made a customer played it in the other day. He was asking me for recommendations. I'm like, oh, Darkman's awesome. And he's like, really? I'm like, yeah, come try it. And he died like right away, like game over. Like he didn't even make the first platform jump. He's like, okay, show me. And then I haven't played in a long time. I kind of stumbled through, but beat the first level like really sloppily. And he's like, yeah, this isn't for me.
So Cowboy Kid, recommended by Crabby and Duke. He also got the freaking guitar that I really want. He got the Rock Band Mustang. I didn't even look to see if he got a good price or not, because he has it, I don't. It makes me upset. So there's Invader G2. Very good work to him. And anybody up for some Monkeys 19?
Who's not up for Monkeys?
Hey, Crabby, what was the last game released for the Dreamcast in North America? Like, not counting like those like additional weird games that came out years later.
Are you hinting that it's this next game on the list?
It is NHL 2K2. You're absolutely right.
I literally didn't know that, but that is very interesting.
The last game, official game released for the system. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Chris Drury was on the cover, but I could be wrong.
Way to go out on a high note, Dreamcast.
Yeah, exactly, right? He also got a copy of Okami, which always stands out to me because of how beautiful it is. And I'm always curious to know if someone got the copy with the IGN watermark on it that was, mistakenly released.
How on earth, if you're the publisher, do you do that?
I love that story. Well, like, you know how like sometimes like a company will like say or tweet something and you're like, yo, that is really offensive and inappropriate. And then when they apologize, they're like, we're really sorry. Like we have like an intern running our Twitter account. So it's like, it's not necessarily the company doing that. It's just someone that they trusted to do something that they shouldn't have.
Yeah.
So I guess it's still kind of the company, but like the rumor is that like whoever was working in the art department, like, on the cover, downloaded the image of the cover, since I guess Capcom didn't have a copy of it, from IGN's website, and it had like an IGN watermark on it. And then they, sent it to production. And if you look really close, you can see a faded IGN watermark on the re-release of it.
Good job, Capcom.
And I remember the story a while back that if you like emailed, I don't remember if you had to mail them I don't think you had to mail them the case, but if you just like gave them a photocopy of your receipt that you purchased it, they would mail you a new insert without the watermark on it.
Did that. They had 2 inserts you could choose from, and they were both awesome. And I tried really hard to get both of them mailed to me, and I got 0 of them mailed to me.
Oh.
Wah, 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 wah.
Maybe you just chose not to pay the import tax on them.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if it was because I was in Canada or not, so I didn't really make a fuss about it.
So I wonder, are those rare? Are those valuable?
I don't see them almost ever. I don't know about value, but I think they are pretty hard to come across.
Right, because they're only released if you. It's like the Fester's Quest hint book.
Yeah, it's one of those weird mail away things that they didn't really advertise, but they did it.
Mm-hmm.
20 years from now,
and
it'll be hard to find.
And they could have done like a small run. I don't know what number, but they could have done like 2,000 or something, and just left it at that.
Well, we're on episode 628. We'll look back and go, God, why didn't we track those down?
I could have been somebody. So, also, it's a bit of a newer game, but South Park Stick of Truth. A handful of people picked that up in the last few months. I borrowed it from a friend. I got about halfway through it, and I'm really enjoying it. It's one of those things like, if you're a fan of South Park, you'll like it. If you're not a fan of South Park, you probably won't like it.
It is, yes, so much fan service. It's awesome if you love the show.
Yeah.
Do they kill Kenny?
I also love how they
no spoilers.
Yeah, I love how they poke fun at BioShock. The guy who runs the the Marlon Brando lookalike club or whatever, the doctor, Dr. Moreau, whatever. You find audio logs around, and he's like, why am I doing this? If things are so dire, why would I just record these things and just leave them around and tell the story? And there's a lot of really cool stuff in it.
I did not get that as a BioShock reference when I played it.
Absolutely.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Because you haven't played the first BioShock?
I've beaten all 3 of them with you guys.
I didn't remember that you played the second one, did you?
I've beaten all 3 of them.
What do you know? Did you play all the DLC?
I've played none of the DLC.
Whoa. Let's not get out of control over here.
Back to monkeys.
Yeah, seriously. So monkeys, after Stick of Truth, he picked up one of the Zelda games that keeps eluding me, a complete in-box Link to the Past in very nice shape.
Does he get the little tune? Does he hold it up over his head?
It's a really good idea. If he can get us a picture of him doing that, we'll edit it into this part of the show with just him holding it up.
Says the man who does not do the editing.
Correct. Yeah, I'm more of a delegator.
Somebody who's not a delegator's up next.
Yep, Flea.
Yeah,
our very own Flea, not to be confused with Fleach, who's coming up in just a little while. So Flea, again, we're going to make Isrit's day right here. He got a handful of complete in-box Mortal Kombat games, including Mortal Kombat 2 and Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3.
I think 2 is the best one.
I was just going to ask if you have a favorite. I think I spent the most time with 2. I think by the time Ultimate came out, I was being, destroyed by people who, kind of made Mortal Kombat their life for a little while.
I couldn't stand the dial-up combos from the third one.
Oh, okay.
The whole game was run, dial-up combo.
No, I loved Cabal. If you got that jump kick in, and it's jump kick, I won the match.
Yeah. And all you would hear every time you play that game is that run sound, that over and over. Oh, I hated that game.
You know what you just reminded me of is Colossus's mutant power from X-Men.
Yeah, it's pretty much the same sound. It's pretty much the same sound.
Just rehashed it.
Oh, that is so great. You know what I thought you were going to say is all you heard, if an arcade had Mortal Kombat and 2 people were playing it, when someone pulled off that 87 hit combo, all you heard from that entire side of the arcade was, oh!
Oh, man.
Oh, those combos were great. So yeah, Mortal Kombat 2, Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3, Mega Man X, and again on the Mega Man train.
I'm sensing a pattern here.
Yeah, a little bit of a mega pattern.
Got the first 3. Are we going to make it all the way to 8?
Oof, I don't know.
I doubt
we got a ways to go here. But he also picked up Killer Instinct. I didn't write it down, but I believe that was also Super Nintendo.
Killer Instinct.
And then some PlayStation RPGs. I think we've talked about Vagrant Story before. I enjoy it very much. How are you guys feeling about it?
I haven't put much time into it.
Okay.
It's an interesting kind of diversion.
Yeah.
But it's set in the world of Evilise, so that's a good thing.
Yeah. There's a big dragon in it that you have to fight, and it's difficult, and then you just keep going in the game.
Yeah, some weird mechanics in it, though, all right? So
yeah, the weird thing for me, and a lot of games do this now, but like your equipment wore out.
Yeah, I don't like that.
And that, yeah, it kind of bugged me. So I was like, I spent all this time getting this equipment, and now I use it, and like it can be destroyed.
Yeah,
Like, now I don't mind it in Fallout 3 because you can just find more equipment and break it down and repair your equipment.
Yeah,
That's totally cool. You need to give me a mechanic where I can work with it. But yeah, it's the only weird thing I have about Vagrant Story is like your equipment like gets worse the more you use it. It was like, that's no good.
yeah.
So Legend of Dragoon and another copy of Resident Evil. Choo choo.
There you go.
And one of my favorite games on the Xbox 360, and it was also released on the PS3, I'm told, Red Dead Redemption. And he picked up the GOTA edition, that game of the year that has the Undead Nightmare pack included, which is just a whole nother game. That's I love Red Dead so much. I want to play it again so badly. I just want them to say, hey, it's coming out on PC or Xbox or whatever.
No exposure at all to those games.
Oh, I love it so. You never played Red Dead?
As soon as somebody mentioned that it was GTA on horses, I just went, I'm out.
Okay, so you realize that it's not that, and it's way better.
It's Rockstar.
No. Have you ever played an Assassin's Creed game?
I played that one.
Did you like Assassin's Creed 4?
I liked that one, but I don't think I liked the rest of the series because it doesn't have boats.
No. I'm telling you, it has horses.
They're like land boats.
Show title.
So, Duke, I think over the years I've earned a favor or two. I want you to play Red Dead Redemption.
Don't do
He's
this.
calling it in. He's calling in favors.
Hour.
Oh, God. You send it to me.
Flea has a copy that he will send to you. I have confirmation of this.
Oh, man.
I can put one aside for you in the next package. I get a ton of them in the store.
I actually don't have the GOTA edition. I'd love to get a GOTA.
How come you have an A on the end? I understand goatee, right? What's the A part that I'm missing here?
He's just he sang a song that's a one-hit wonder, popular song here, so I just call it GOTA.
I'm missing something. Who sang the song?
Do you have that song up there where the guys? It's I'm not going to sing it, but
It's okay.
I'm lost,
Duke.
too. I'm lost. I've never heard of this before.
You never heard of this guy, and it's now you're just somebody that I used to know.
No.
His name is Gautier, or that's the song's name?
Yeah, his name is Gautier, and the song is. Everyone who's listening to the show knows the song except you two.
I live under a rock and I play Nintendo games.
Maybe you guys are just in the Judas Priest record fan club.
I did get the new Judas Priest album this week, and that was like the best small score I've gotten in a while. It was awesome.
It says a guy who's got like 37 pinball machines in the last couple months. Oh yeah, this album's really the best thing.
Well, your buddy's up next. Crab, right?
Yeah, Crabby. Why don't I let you take this since you probably sold him all of this stuff?
This paid your rent for a couple months.
Only about 3/4 of this came from me.
Oh, only.
Oh, so only 5 months worth of rent.
Yes. Yeah.
A couple of these I'm a little surprised. I didn't even know that you had these in the store.
Oh, like which ones? For instance.
We'll get to them.
Okay.
We'll get to them.
So he finished up his Wii Operation Rainfall trilogy.
Mm.
So he already had. Oh no! Wait. So
No, he's got all 3 of them there.
completed the whole thing.
Yeah, got The Last Story, got Pandora's Tower, got the Xenoblade Chronicles.
But does he have the cardboard sleeve?
He doesn't. I don't know if they still have it in stock, but I told him about it. So I'm not sure if that's something he even cares about, though.
The last time I looked, they did have it, so I think you can still get them.
Cool. So yeah, go to Operation Rainfall if you want this cool little box made of like little photos that make a picture.
Of the tears that people had to shed to get these games brought to the U.S.
Is that what they are? I thought it was just a raindrop. Rainfall.
No, that's what they call it. Rainfall. It's all the tears out of your RPG loving face.
Wow, I don't know if I would have given the money if I knew that. That's horrible.
It's all the tears Nintendo was crying when they were trying to say, we're going to lose so much money doing this.
And then people get all upset when they're like, what? Sakaguchi's new game's a free-to-play mobile game?
Not even
that. And it's like, hey, if the Rainfall trilogy sold 1 billion copies, I'm sure he'd make a console game. But it didn't.
Just don't put it on Wii. Anyway.
You mean the Wii?
That's the Wii U?
You?
What else did you sell him?
He's one of my biggest Master System fans up here. And
it's a great system.
Yeah, a while back I got a sweet boxed the 3D glasses. And I got another one traded in. So this one I didn't need to steal. And I passed it along to Mr. Mike, who's now hopefully enjoying, I think he grabbed like Zaxxon 3D or Missile Command 3D, one of the staple ones to try.
Missile Defense 3D. Maybe.
Missile Defense, thank you.
Have you played the Sega Scope 3D glass games?
I haven't yet.
The effect is really good.
That's what I've heard.
I have the glasses. I don't have the adapter that it plugs into the slot on the front of the system.
The effect is very good. I want to get the Famicom 3D system because it's basically the same thing. What else?
This one he did not get from me. The Chippendale 2.
All right.
For the NES. And he was telling me about this. He was really excited. He found a really good, I think it was Nintendo Age deal. And he ended up getting Mega Man X, X2, and X3 on the Super Nintendo for like basically getting like half of 2 for free, it sounded like.
Oh.
Yeah, it was a smoking deal.
Okay, that's the thing, because I thought he had gotten those from you. I was going to say, I don't remember you saying you got those in.
No. I still need X3 cartridge. I would have stolen that for sure.
Yeah, I would imagine so.
Yeah.
Well, then maybe he shouldn't bring it over to your house. Mr. Sticky Fingers.
I could trade him a lot of Transformers.
Yeah, might be up
just
for
not
that.
your prized Optimus Prime mask.
Now, I don't know what this Fallout collection is. I'll let Bill touch on that one.
So Fallout, as most of you, I think, might know, Fallout 1, 2, and Tactics were the first games in the series before Bethesda came back with Fallout 3. So Fallout Collection is the PC collection of every Fallout game before Fallout 3. So it's and it's actually I've played through most of 1 and 2, not a whole lot of Tactics, and it's always refreshing to me when I find out when I played the hell out of Fallout 3. I love it. And then I played Fallout 1 and 2, and I found out that they use like almost all of the same sound effects for like all the menus from 1 and 2 in 3. And it just like gave me goosebumps to know that those sounds, like, it kind of made it from the original game all the way through what they're doing now.
Cool. And then he got to some real games, right?
Absolutely.
No, Fallout's a game.
Then he got to some good games.
When Fleech came to visit me, some of you know, he brought me a huge batch of NES games, and most of them were uncommon or rare games. Really hard to find stuff. And Mike, as well as being one of my biggest Master System promoters in town, is a huge NES fanatic.
Good man.
And he ended up with leaving some games that I didn't get until very, very recently, like Lethal Weapon, Frankenstein, Dusty Diamond, Die Hard, Uncharted Waters is a big one, Baseball Stars 2, Toki, Cliffhanger, Ghost Lion, Toxic Avenger, Godzilla 2, Chubby Cherub, and most impressively, Dragon Fighter.
Man, I don't even want to know what kind of bill that totaled up to.
Those were all 2 for $1, buy one get one free.
He does a lot at the store, so I always try and cut him off the sticker price that I sell to all the other suckers.
Suckers that are hopefully not listening to this show.
Yeah, no, there's no internet up there.
I'll carrier pigeon some CDs up to you.
Oh, what if they transcribe the show in the local newsprint?
They won't see that till next week anyway.
Oh, okay, so we're good.
Yeah. Takes time to write everything out by hand.
It sounds like Mike made out really well then.
Your newspapers are handwritten.
Every copy.
Mike did very well this month.
He did
very well. Well, months, but yes.
Yeah.
He's getting close to 300 NES games. And
that's it?
Yeah, but it's like collecting wise, it's like quality.
Oh, good.
And so I think he's got some big plans for the build up to 300. So there should be some pretty good Small Scars posts from him in the next couple months here while he builds up to that milestone.
Ooh la la. I'll be looking forward to it.
Mm-hmm. Cool. So yes, that wraps up Mike. So we're going to move on to one of our site directors.
Who is that?
Yeah, so I normally don't misspell members' nanames.
But maybe you could pronounce this one for us.
Shadow
Jumanji.
Kiss Jumanji. Yeah. Robin Williams and what's her name? Sarah Whittle were involved in this spelling of Shadow Kiss Jumanji's game. Shadow he had a whole bunch of stuff. I kind of narrowed it down to books. Just lots of books.
Okay.
And he also got a loose miracle piano.
Oh, all right.
With 7 foot pedals.
Oh! If only.
No, Shadow's got a ton of stuff. Shadow's been, for a long time. Obviously, he's one of the site directors, but for a long time, he's been like a source for lots of different information for lots of different members on the site. When I first came to the site, he was one of the guys who was kind of helping, like, kind of show me the ropes and telling me, like, who's cool and who's, good people to trade with and stuff like that.
And sit at that table when you're eating lunch. Don't sit with those guys.
I asked him, I was like, hey, like, cause he responded to like almost every post I made, he would respond and like, with a comment one way or the other. So I PM'd him one day and I was like, hey, I kind of want to buy this from this guy, but I feel like the price is a little high. And, well, what do you think? And he hit me back and he was like, oh yeah, like that guy's really awesome. Like his prices are a tiny bit higher than normal, but his stuff is quality. So he was always a good guy. So even in months when Shadow doesn't pull in just a whole ton of stuff, he's usually a pretty supportive of, everyone on the site, and he does a lot of work for it. So I just wanted to point that out.
You know how he's got all that knowledge? It's all those. It's all those books. He just reads all day.
That's why he has.
He probably read the RF Generation book. And that's how he knows so much about.
It's like the yearbook that comes out every year.
Oh, we should have a yearbook.
The Facebook.
So Shadow, we appreciate all the work. And we also have Grey Ghost, who got some Super Nintendo games.
Who recently had a birthday.
Happy birthday. Hopefully this comes out close enough to the birthday that it's not
it won't really.
Inappropriate.
Don't worry, he's got another one next year. It'll catch up eventually.
We're talking about the next birthday. So, you guys familiar with Final Fantasy II?
Heard of it.
Yeah, I'm familiar.
It's okay.
I believe it has a red sticker.
I somebody told me though that it's maybe mislabeled. It should be labeled 4.
No, I think there was just a rumor. Like if you peel the label off of a Final Fantasy II cart, then it says Final Fantasy IV underneath it in Japanese.
I thought it was like the Super Nintendo Knuckles, and you plug it into the top, and then when you have 2 of them together, it just makes the 4.
Well, once you rip the top label off of Final Fantasy II, there's like a cart slot there that you can put Knuckles into.
Exactly.
And then Knuckle, wouldn't it be great if you had Knuckles instead of like a Moogle?
I don't know.
Maybe
Maybe a Cactuar or something.
Yeah. So Grey Ghost, Final Fantasy 2 and 3, and Super Metroid. Good for you.
It's about time.
Yeah, Super Met. Why isn't Super... Hey, if Fleech and Banana and Tech Wizard and a bunch of those guys are listening, what's the deal with... how come we haven't had a Super Metroid community playthrough with the following podcast?
That's a good question, Bill.
It's almost like this was scripted. So, I need to ask Crabby a question.
Okay, I'm listening.
So, Crabby, as a avid Atlas fan, where are you ranking Rule of Rose?
In terms of Atlas games or in other games?
In terms of Atlas games on that platform.
Well, it's hard when they're all 9s and 10s. They're all just kind of there.
I know. So, but like, do you rank it in the top 5 Atlas games, or is it not the best Atlas game?
It's a really good game. It's not in the top 5 Atlas games, though.
Because they're all because it's competition.
Yeah, there's a lot of high competition. Not that Rule of Rose is awesome. It's worth checking out if you can afford it or find it cheap. It's not the best Atlas game though.
Number 1 would be Widget, right?
Super Widget, come on.
Now, can I tell you how that I used to mistake Rule of Rose for Rumble Roses?
They're both good games in their own special ways. I actually just took that home a couple days ago.
Rumble Roses. I played that.
It's no Sega Swirl. Also to round out the RPG ness of his pickups, he got a really nice looking complete copy of Lunar Complete Silver Star Story.
PlayStation?
Yes, PlayStation version. The little kind of like the little lunchbox of Lunar.
Lunar.
You guys Lunar fans?
Yes.
That sounded a little hesitant.
No, I wasn't hesitant. I love Lunar. Lunar 2 is one of my favorite games of all time.
Do you need to play Lunar 1?
You don't need to. They kind of fill you in, but the world would be expanded by playing the first one.
Does your save file carry over from 1 to 2?
No, I don't think there's anything like that.
Oh, I don't think that technology existed.
There's
no lock on.
You can't lock on CDs yet. They'll figure it out one day.
What if Knuckles is inserted in your 32X when you launch Lunar 2?
Ooh.
I think the world would implode from awesomeness.
Yeah. I think Waluigi and Birdo would come out of the TV if you did that. I always wondered how those two would meet.
Speaking of Waluigi...
Playing tennis, obviously.
Speaking of Waluigi... Mech Blue?
Sure!
Blue,
why not?
purple, it's close.
We will use anything to segue.
Somebody's got to segue this thing.
Well, hey, keep us on track here. So, speaking of Waluigi, Mech Blue. So Mech Blue picked up a whole bunch of NES boxes and manuals, including the notable Silent Service.
Very
Drop
notable.
the mic.
Gauntlet 2. Even though I picked the mic back up for a second, just to say Gauntlet 2. And Donkey Kong Jr.
Now that's impressive.
Yeah, Donkey Kong Jr. is great. I actually have Jr. and 3. I'm still looking for a copy of DK1, which is not inexpensive. So, nice job on those, Mech Blue.
How about Math?
What? Oh yeah, Math. I don't expect to ever own it. Honestly, I mean, I'm kind of coming to the point where I really think I'm going to have to get, literally ask for games that are in bad shape if I really want to be able to own them at a reasonable price. So I'm just trying to be patient right now, because once you get to 400, 30 something complete NES games, it gets pretty slim.
Yeah.
Or it gets slim or expensive.
Yes, exactly.
So good boxes for Mech Blue.
You just need baby formula every other day.
Yeah. Are you hungry? Well, Daddy's got a donkey to feed. So that's good for Mech Blue. I do apologize to our very, very good friend and guest, Single Banana. I really don't know pinball machines well enough to kind of track, the things that he gets. So I think we're going to start a whole nother thread for the pinball scores. That way all you guys can,
I know one that he was especially excited about was Lightning. And that was because he's wanted one for a while, but he saw one at an auction and passed on it. And then he ended up like getting one like a month later somehow and was pretty happy about it. Yeah.
Did he buy it from the guy who won it at auction?
I don't know. Yeah. Paid 3 times as much. I don't know.
So besides the pinball machines that I did not write down, he also got a copy of Mitely Final Fight.
Thank you.
Which I believe puts him at 5 games away.
Well, there's actually a couple other ones that he picked up this month that I don't see here either.
Oh, then I must have missed those. That's my fault.
Yeah,
do you remember which ones he got?
Absolutely, I sent them to him. He got.
Maybe he hasn't got them yet.
No, he just posted them.
Those.
He got a Galactic Crusader for his unlicensed set that we don't need to just spend any more time on.
Agree.
He grabbed a Shadowrun for the Super NES.
I like Genesis Shadowrun better.
Yeah, most people seem to. And the big 2 were the last 2 Koei games that he needed.
Oh, that's right. Bandit Kings of Ancient China.
Yeah.
And what was the other one? He just posted it.
Nobunaga's Ambition 2.
That's right. Nobunaga 2. So let me get this right. I think I have the last 5 games he needs memorized.
Ouch. And you better pronounce them how he wrote them.
What he wrote them like in the text?
No, he wrote them on the small scores like totally wrong. It's awesome.
Oh, really?
Yeah. What? Do you mean like Mitely Final Fight?
No, nothing like that. He needs, if I remember.
Okay, let's see if you can rattle them off. Number 1.
Flintstones 2.
Yes, bing. Number 2.
Little Samson.
Yes, bing. Number 3.
Bubble 2.
Bubble Booble 3.
Bubble Booble 3.
Yes. Ding.
Bubble Booble 3.
Ding.
Number 4. Give me a sec.
Same one that Duke needs.
It's not Little Samson.
you play as a chef.
Donkey Kong.
Burger time.
Burger time.
Panic Restaurant. And
Panic Restaurant, right. And
another one I need.
Zombie Nation?
Zombie Nation. Ding, 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 ding.
Very good. That was a lot of pressure. I probably could have done it if there wasn't as much pressure.
And if he was going for unlicensed, there's still ways to go.
Yeah, but he's an American, so he knows exactly.
Now that he's got Bubble Booble, he doesn't need Bubble Bath Babes, so it evens out.
Exactly. Well, I think if he does a search on Booble.com for Bubble Bath Babes.
I love all the Boobles. That's all I can say.
Pleasantly surprised. So after Mitely Final Fight, he also is on the Mega Man train with a copy of Mega Man X.
Things are coming out of the woodwork.
We got a Super Punch Out for the Super, which is I didn't play it nearly as much as Mike Tyson's Punch Out, but a lot of people love it.
Bear Hugger.
And somehow Crabby left some Nintendo World Championship repos out in the rest of the world for other people to purchase after buying like 60 copies?
5.
They all came through my hands.
Yeah, they all went through America so that he could save on. It's weird because what's it called? Retro USB's like default shipping to Canada is ridiculous. So
it's cheaper for me to ship it to Duke and have him ship it to me. Like cheaper enough to go through that hassle to do it. Like it's ridiculous.
Well, unless I'm shipping you an N64.
Me and Mike worked that out. Yeah, that's fine.
Good.
So Banana got some other stuff, but that is what I wrote down. So very good job, Mr. Banana, and good luck on those last 5 mortgage payments for the rest of the sets.
Yeah,
but you're very close.
Ouch.
So sticking with the tradition of misspelling members' names, Sick P Psycho.
Wait.
Oh, sorry. I went ahead a little bit. Well, and it's, cause Duke will not have this member skipped, even though we would have realized and gone back. So, do you want to tell everyone about your, bromance with Rusty Man this past month?
Russ is my man. What can I say? It's hooking a brother up.
This is like, RF Gen is the new black.
That's right. I got a thing for guys in Donkey Kong carts.
Hey, he's got a barrel on his car.
That's all I'm saying. It's pretty awesome.
So what did Rusty Man do for you? Did he go to that show that we may or may not have gone to with him last year?
He did. Foreshadowing. Get to some of that. But yes, he did go to that said show and got me some things. But he also got a pretty cool thing of his own. The game that both of you should be playing.
I should be playing this game.
Bravely Default.
Yeah, I really, really do actually want to be playing this. I'm just not on the ball with this right now.
Yes, you are fired. And Wii U stuff?
He got some Wii U stuff?
Didn't he get one more big score this last month too?
Did he?
Didn't he get a wife?
Oh, that's not a score.
That's a total score after the wedding.
Run away.
It's like a guaranteed score.
For one night. And then you're married.
Yep. Speaking of being married, you guys know what today is, right?
Today is... Can I say it?
Yeah, go ahead.
I don't know.
It's your anniversary, isn't it?
It is my anniversary.
Congratulations. How many years?
4 years.
4 years just getting started.
I know, and I couldn't find... I meant to do it all day long, and I forgot to do it. I'll do it tomorrow. But what I wanted to post on Facebook, I want to find some video of some political campaign where, like a president gets elected, and then everyone in the place is chanting, 4 more years, 4 more years.
Just 4? That's all you're going
Yeah, just 4. Just 4. Just want to get reelected, and then we'll worry about it at the end of the next term.
8 and done.
8's good. Well, you can't do more than 2 terms, right? Someone else has to come in after that.
I know, right? We're going to have to get a nomination.
What are you talking about? I'm on my 3rd term.
There's something fishy going on there. I think we need to look into this.
Yeah, I think the electoral committee is going to want to hear about this.
Impeachment. That's all I can say.
At Del Boca Vista.
But yeah, now we're on to Sick Psycho.
Sick Psycho. Yeah, so Sir Psycho, who has changed his name to Sick Psycho, got a boxed Nintendo, which is always good.
Always good.
I believe it was a control deck, if I'm not mistaken.
Purdy.
He got a Super. He got some Game Boy games. He got some Nintendo carts. He got Punch Out. He got Pro Wrestling. He got lots of Pokemon. I think this is similar to the last Pokemon post we talked about, where, like, to me, again, not as an expert, it looks like all the Game Boy Pokemon games. So I don't know, like, I really feel like once, like, you know, I really feel like moms, like, find all these games and they're like, oh, Goodwill. And then, like, that's how all the games stay as a family, like, when they go from owner to owner. So lots of Pokemon. He got some Zelda stuff. And as often as we see Zelda, I still really feel like it's, you know, important. It's iconic. The games are great. So Zelda, Link to the Past, Ocarina. I don't think Majora was in there. Actually, recently I saw an interesting story recently where, like, the Zelda Wiki or Zelda Dungeon guys did a poll asking, like, you know, what games have you played? What's your favorite? And Majora did way better than I kind of thought it would. Like, to me, it's always kind of been like the black sheep, but a lot of people love Majora.
It's a good game.
I always thought Zelda 2 was always considered to be like the black sheep, but
I would agree with that.
I like it.
Yeah, kind of the odd game out. So that is no Sir Psycho. He also got a Mario 64, which is always cause for celebration. And Blackthorn for the Super, which is different than the Blackthorn for the 32X. So grab them both and have a good time.
I think you left a few out, though. I remember him getting some really nice Saturn games.
Yeah. Did he get Decathlete?
I don't think he got Decathlete. No.
It looks like that guy is, like, writhing in pain on the cover.
Wouldn't you be? You just did a decathlon?
Oh, I'm in Decathlete on the Saturn.
No, he's like, I just did a decathlon! Ah! No, but he gets some nice Saturn games and some nice Master System games. I remember just seeing today, like, he got Miracle Warriors and it was like East and
oh, you know what? Yeah, I didn't go up till I think the last small scores I had written down was from, like, earlier yesterday or today. So if he got anything the last day or so, I wouldn't have it on there.
Yeah, on Twitter, though, he said he's playing Miracle Warriors. He said it's pretty brutal. I said, yes, you are
nice.
right. It is very brutal. Very brutal game.
Oh, that's me yawning. Okay. And I'm done with the yawn.
And Fleech.
Fleech. So I love this story, and he could probably tell it better, but he was buying some Super Family games from a guy on eBay, and he was running into some problems, like the games weren't showing up, and he wasn't getting any communication, and it's one of those situations where you're like, oh crap, did I just lose all that money, and I'm going to be like fighting for it forever. And the guy finally responded, he's like, I'm so sorry, I'll get the stuff out to you. And the box shows up at Fleech's house with a bunch of Super Famicom stuff, with a copy of Final Fantasy VI with like a little note on it that says like, sorry for the troubles, or, something similar. So a very cool way to get out of that situation with an extra copy of Final Fantasy VI correctly labeled.
Awesome. Yeah, pretty cool.
Have you played the Super Family version, Chris?
I have played a ROM hack of it with an English retranslation. So, yes.
Cool. I'm just wondering if it's noticeably different, or if it's, exactly the same game with the language difference.
It's pretty much the same game with language differences. The issue being that they really sanitized the story for the U.S.
For the American release?
Yeah.
Okay.
They really sanitized it.
In what way? Like appropriateness?
Cyrus out Celes or Celeste or however you say it.
Right.
But I think there's like one part where she's like contemplating suicide in the game, and so things that would never come over here.
Gotcha. Like in that Papa Roach song.
Whatever you say.
Yeah, where she's contemplating suicide.
No idea.
Is that like Gotia? Is that his like second hit?
No. You don't have Papa Roach in Canada?
I don't have him in here in Indiana.
Wow. You guys are so not like late 90s.
Did I tell you Rich might be picking me up some Hellion vinyls?
If the price is right. So also I wanted to give Crabby the opportunity to tell a little bit about Fleech's visit and all of the GameQuest NES scores that he picked up while I was there.
Yeah, so I just already mentioned when we talked about Mike's thing about how he brought some stuff up, so he got the chance to go through it as well before I put it out on the shelf and cherry pick a few items for him as like a thanks for bringing them down. And then he also like bought some from the store as well, and I think he left with just enough games to get him to 100 NES games.
Nice.
Yeah, and he had a couple cool ones in there. In particular, I think my favorite one that he grabbed was Princess Tomato.
Yes, he did. You're right. I remember I saw he posted the picture of the spines of all the games, and I didn't even see it at first. And you said like, "Oh, enjoy that Princess Tomato," and I was like, "Oh, yep, there it is."
Yeah, he had a good variety of like some hard to find stuff, some really good fun to play stuff, some staples. He did well, and we bugged him for a while about Last of Us having a lot of similarities to Enslaved. And so I made sure to give him a copy of Enslaved to try and see if he enjoys it too, because I think he'll like it.
Enslaved is great.
Mm-hmm. It's one of the rare instances when Bill and I agree that Steven's awesome.
You don't think we agree that often?
I think we're nice to each other about it.
You both love Darkman.
Darkman is wonderful.
I think of all the people who I disagree about games I play with, I do feel like me and Crabby are the most civil about it.
Oh yeah. You like your stuff, I like my stuff. There's no reason we don't have to get along.
You don't have to get your peanut butter in my chocolate.
Maybe let's not try to think of another way to say it.
You put your peanut butter in my chocolate anytime, Bill.
Well,
speaking of peanut butter in the chocolate, Moonraker Fats is up next. So Moonraker Fats picked up some 32X games. Isn't this a great day?
Who writes this stuff?
He picked up Doom and Colibri, the best Hummingbird game on any platform,
and probably the only Hummingbird.
Colibri.
Oh, come on! Don't sell the Hummingbird genre short.
That's in my top running for first 32X game.
That probably would be.
Yeah, that probably would be right up your alley.
Or Tempo.
Yeah.
Try Tempo.
I'll look into that one. I'm not familiar.
or brutal?
No, not brutal. Paws of Fury. No. No, Tempo is kind of a platformer game. You'd probably like that.
Since it'll only take me like 20 minutes to watch like entire playthrough of the whole set, I'll probably just check them all out.
Oh,
burn!
Oh, someone's developing quite the acid tongue.
Well, somebody
just like reptile.
Well, somebody who's not reptilian all. That's right.
Now, we usually mention Zelda games when they happen, like I said before, because they're great, but I really want to address the fact that not enough people have played Skyward Sword.
I have not played Skyward Sword.
That is the only console one I've never beaten.
Case in point, you two. I'm curious. So you said, Crabby, you played it but haven't beaten it?
I haven't even put it on it, like, period. And I've beaten every other console Zelda.
Good, because I'm more okay with that than if you played it and then said, I'm done.
No, I haven't even tried it yet.
It is, it's hard to say it's my favorite Zelda game because there's so many great ones. But
and you would be burned alive at the stake for saying
no. Oh, come on. No, the entire time I was playing it, I was so happy with everything that was happening in that game. It's very, very long, especially for a Zelda game. I didn't really spend a whole ton of time going after every single little extra thing, and I think it took me close to 50 hours to finish. So for me, it's easily the longest Zelda game, and I really, really enjoyed it.
That does sound long for Zelda.
Yeah. And that was actually a knock on it. People said, it feels like, because there's actually, you revisit several areas that kind of change and evolve throughout the game. And they say, when you go to areas you've already been to, it's like, it kind of feels like they could have made a really good 30-hour game, but instead made a pretty good 50-hour game. And I never agreed with that. I really feel like the areas evolve enough where, it feels like it's natural. But I just wanted to put that out there, is that I think that Skyward Sword is a way better Zelda game than people give it credit, and I wish more people would play it.
Maybe they'll do a community playthrough for Christmas or something, and I'll have a reason to plug it in.
Yeah. It would have to be over several months because of the length, partially because of the length of the game, but also because of how busy everyone is during the holiday season. That might have to stretch.
Nah, we'll do it at Christmas. Knock it out in a week. We'll do a Zelda game every week.
I don't remember a Field of Rats.
Can you go to the mountains that you see in the background?
Are you talking about a reference to a Zelda game that's not out yet?
I am.
Well, we don't speculate on rumors.
There are magic laser beasts, though,
and speculation.
No, there's no speculation there. It's in engine.
That's speculative at this point. You're speculating.
Oh, okay.
So, Link to the Past is also another game that the Guerrero got. Also Super Metroid, because he likes good things.
And these are all complete in box?
Trigger. Yeah.
Sweet. Especially that Chrono Trigger.
Yeah, Chrono Trigger. You don't see a lot of Chrono Triggers. Actually, I've never seen a Chrono Trigger complete in box.
I saw them on store shelves when they were released. That's about it.
I didn't think it was a real thing. I thought Chrono Trigger was a game.
Chrono Trigger and the mysterious Lufio too.
That's the sequel to...
How is that not a spelling error? What's a Lufio?
Lufio.
Lufio.
So yeah, Lufio 2. And I'm trying to remember which... Oh, you know what? I just wrote Star Wars. It was Super Star Wars. Super Nintendo Star Wars.
Fun.
And the Lord of the Rings for Super Nintendo.
Not so fun.
And Secret of Evermore.
Mm-hmm.
And also Legend of Gaia. I just noticed that got pushed to the next page.
Illusion of Gaia.
Sorry, Illusion of Gaia. I was thinking of Zelda still. The Legend of Everything.
So many ERPGs in that lot.
And speaking of legends, Sauza is up next.
Ooh, nice segue. Finally, one that makes sense.
Yeah. So, Sauza, you guys can just take a break. We're going to talk about big box PC
I'm
games
take
for
a nap.
30 seconds.
I'll be back.
All right, yeah, make a loud noise in about 10 minutes.
So, Sauza got a copy of TIE Fighter Oh, if Techie wasn't already giving me a copy, I would think that Sousa would send it to me.
So is it bow ties, neckties? What do you fight?
Whoa! I thought that this was a nap time for the kids. I'll answer the one question. Yes, you are. No, TIE Fighter. Are you familiar with Star Wars?
That's like the pinball that Crabby got, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. That's what it is.
With the Kirk guy.
So Jan Solis66 will be a fan of this next one because on the cover of NHL 2002 is Mario Lemieux.
Who's a guy?
He was a guy who he fashioned his 66 number after.
So there's only one Mario we need to talk about in the small stores, Bill.
Agreed.
Are you guys familiar with Oni?
That's my dog.
It's a Japanese name for demon, isn't it?
It is. And my wife didn't know that when we named her, and I'm quite pleased about it.
That is awesome. So that's the second time you fooled your wife.
Oh, no, she totally picked it. That's only the one still. She picked that. There was no...
I tricked my wife into marrying me 4 years ago. So I remember being surprised to find out, once I had learned about the Halo series and everything, that Oni is a Bungie game.
I thought it was a Rockstar game.
Oh my, hang on. Did I mess that up?
It's got the silver cover, right?
It's an awesome cover. I'm pretty sure it's Rockstar, though.
With the anime babe on the front.
Hang on, let me check. I could be totally messing this up.
Yeah, it's the anime babe with all shiny silver behind her. I love it.
Never played it.
Again. All shiny silver.
But she must be a demon.
No, the developer was Bungie.
Rockstar's just the publisher?
Well, no. The developer was Bungie on Windows and Mac, and Rockstar Toronto did the PS2 port.
Ah.
Interesting.
So
we're both right. That's awesome. That never happens.
Nope. Well, it does when we're talking about, games that are good.
Oh yeah. Everyone's right, yeah.
Yeah, everyone's got their version of right. So besides Oni, he got the original Rainbow Six on PC and Civilization 3, which is such a cool, awesome big box that I wouldn't mind acquiring also. So very good Sousa. And speaking of things you wouldn't mind acquiring, Wempster is next. And he acquired something I wouldn't mind acquiring, a very nice Super Nintendo Super Set.
That's super.
Yes. Oh, so much super in this segue.
Somebody that's also super would be Beauchamp.
Oh, it doesn't sound like... So wait a minute. Webster doesn't get any attention on his Super Nintendo Super Set by you two supposed Super Nintendo lovers.
Well, you said it. I mean, what else am I supposed to say about it?
I don't know. Say yeah.
Yay, there's a cardboard box and styrofoam and
Speaking of a cardboard box. Speaking of a cardboard box, Beauchamp.
Beauchamp lives in a cardboard box.
I didn't say it.
And he plays Shinobu.
Shinobu.
On the PS2.
I love this. Do you guys remember this one where Shinobu had that huge, long red scarf that would follow him everywhere he went?
Yep.
I actually really like this game. This game was a little bit challenging for me though because I'm bad at action games.
Isn't that the one they remade that one on the 3DS, didn't they?
Yes, I believe you're right.
Yeah, there was the big Shinobu reboot that didn't work.
The Shinoboot. He also got a copy of Okami. And he got pretty much all of the music games. Guitar Hero, Rock Band 2, Band Hero. The one that no one ever talks about, Rock Revolution.
For good reason.
When I worked at Best Buy, this thing was on clearance for $5 with the instruments. No one wanted it.
There's one more. I see those ones once in a while. There's one more. It was 6-string something or other.
6-string symphony?
Oh, no. I know what you're talking about. I can't think of it.
About?
Yes.
Yeah,
there's also Rock of the Dead or whatever, right?
I've seen that one quite a few times.
Cool.
Yeah, that 6-string one.
It was something Rise of the Six String or something, right?
Oh, yeah, Rise. Maybe that was it, yeah.
But it was something else than Rise of the Six String, I think, or something like that.
Yeah. I don't even think they made their own instruments. It was works with every other instrument.
Power Gig. Rise of the Six
Power
String.
Gig.
Yeah.
And there was Rocksmith, too.
Rocksmith is real guitars, so I almost never think of it with guitar video games because it's almost like the miracle piano of the modern guitar.
You can
So
kill
sad.
zombies with chord changes on Miracle Piano.
Yeah, but you can do that with like in real life speed metal.
Yeah. That's what we call
So,
all you non-metal guys. You're zombies. Yeah.
Oh, so you know what we call you guys is
Gotias. I know.
muggles. So after the Rock Revolution, he also got it's just a disc copy, so no case or manual. But I love Intelligent Cube on the PlayStation.
It's so sad that such a wonderful game has no home to live in.
Oh, yeah, I mean it's got like
other
a
than
clear
that
plastic case,
cardboard box that they stand.
Yeah. Intelligent Cube is one of those random games that I'll just like pull out of the the collection and just like fire, because you know on the PS3 plays the PS1 game, so it's actually one that I'll fire up quite often because it just plays very quickly.
Such a weird game.
Love it.
Yeah, very unique.
No, you're right. Like, but you know those games where you kind of try to imagine the pitch meeting. Okay, guys, so you're a dude. You're running around on like a big like grid in like the middle of like empty space. What happens if you fall off? Oh, like you die because like you're off the existence of the world. So there are blocks rolling at you. Yes, and you need to mark the spots you want to erase, and then you can get rid of the blocks. Okay, great. What happens if it rolls over the guy? Oh, death. Death, and all the blocks fall, like, you know, start rolling 10 times as fast, and then they fall off the edge of the world. I don't know about this. No, trust me, it's going to be great.
I'm pretty sure that was probably just some developer's nightmare.
Yeah, I wonder if it was just something somebody was making in the office, and then someone walked in and said, "Hey, Gary, what are you working on?"
Wasn't it?
I think
it was like an indie thing that he won like a whole bunch of awards for game design, and then someone picked it up, didn't they?
Oh, I didn't know
Was
that.
that part of the Net Eurose project?
I don't know, I think it won a whole bunch of awards, and then they kind of picked it up and put it onto a console.
I was thinking that was Devil Dice, but you could be right.
We'll look into it.
No, we won't.
I'm looking
Speaking
into it
of
right
looking
now.
into it, what did Blickle Bliss get this month? Oh no,
Blickle
we missed a big one. We can't go on yet.
We did miss a big one. Beauchamp, right before Blickle Bliss got cleaned up, Beauchamp picked up a Soul Edge cab for $100.
Wow.
Awesome.
Is there any decent arcade machine you wouldn't buy for $100?
Not really, no.
No,
They're
probably
almost,
not.
Nope.
Yeah, everything's worth $100
Like-
unless it's got like rats in it or something.
Right. Like if you had like a list of all the arcade games you'd maybe someday want to own, there should be nothing that if you saw for decent shape, you wouldn't pay $100 for. And this is a very, it actually looks like it's in pretty good shape. And, this is a game, I believe, now Crabby, you might know this better. I don't know if this game is JAMA or not.
I would think so.
I'm not sure on that.
Yeah, I don't know if Namco had their own weird thing going on, but maybe you can swap a Soul Calibur in there.
Doesn't that basically run off kind of like the same PS1-ish hardware that like Tekken did?
Maybe it's on the Battle Arena Toshinden engine.
And the soul still burns.
Speaking of souls burning, Blickle Bliss.
How does that not have the red squiggle under it?
Yeah, Blickle Bliss spelled out Blickel.
Yeah, he didn't even do it right this time.
No, I just spelled it the way it sounds. Yeah, does not have an autocorrect on it, so Blickle Bliss must be like the Canadian equivalent of a Nickelback. So, he cleaned up at the Toys R Us clearance. I think a bunch of people, across, several nations probably saw this. It was like 40, 60, 80% off depending on like the color tag. So it didn't look like the deal was that great if you just saw the price tag, but if you were aware of the color, you'd be like, oh, that's actually $4, like not, 60 or whatever. So he bought a whole bunch of Wii U stuff.
He got a lot of stuff that I've been looking for a while. Like they came out in the first year. And I've been waiting for it to go really cheap. I really wish we had a Toys R Us here.
Said that guy for the first time ever.
I love Toys R Us. I'd love to have one here.
Where a kid can be a kid.
Yeah.
Have you ever played with Jeffrey?
Oh, man. That sounds like some kind of horrible, like, made-for-TV movie.
That's what you're asking for when you want a what's it called? A Toys R Us. You're asking for a big giraffe to play with.
Do you know what would be worse than a big giraffe playing with you? PlayStation Move bundles.
PlayStation Move bundles? So I can't believe he was able to get these with all the droves of people breaking the doors down for the PlayStation Move bundle packs that Toys R Us hasn't been able to move in. How many years has the PlayStation Move bundle pack been out?
And people crap on Connect.
Yeah, seriously. Well, no, we don't have to crap on
That's because it did well enough, at least that people know what it is.
Right. Oh,
Right.
man.
I have so many people that come in the store. They see that little blue bubble on the PlayStation games that are compatible with it.
Oh.
And they ask me what the hell that means.
I say, can I play Sports Champions, please?
People come up to the counter with it every day because I put it like really cheap. And then they're like, well, I'm like, you need this to play. And they're like, well, what's that? Where do I get that? And I'm like, you don't want that.
Like, oh, it's that thing that you're not playing Killzone 3 with.
Yep.
Anyway, something else you're not playing Killzone 3 with is Ico and Sputnik.
Yeah, Eco and Shadow of the Colossus. And he got some Wii U games?
Oh, all right.
People buy Wii U games?
I guess somebody does.
Yeah.
Just one of us in every province or state.
You know what I didn't mention in any of these is like there were a good number of people who picked up Mario Kart 8 this month. And I think there's also a good number of people who, you know, were kind of waiting for like the big game that they wanted to buy the system for. So I think this is one of those games that will sell, you know, maybe not a ton of Wii U's, but more Wii U's than have been selling. So I think some Wii U increase in the number of Wii U games people are picking up is inevitable right now.
And last time, too, you were asking me about why the multiplayer I enjoyed so much on Mario Kart 8, and I can answer that now. They let you play the Grand Prix mode even with 4 players, so that's all we've been doing is unlocking stuff and like progressing the game while playing multiplayer.
Yeah, I'm all in on that too. That's a good change.
What do you think about all the coins? The coins bit.
They're fun. I like to pick them up and see what kind of, if I unlock some tires or something stupid like that after.
Do you actually take the time to like go through all the different ratings of all the different setups?
Oh yeah, we take forever to freaking start a match. It's horrible.
It is horrible.
It's horrible.
I played the demo at like a Target and I was like, tires? Like change the body?
Yeah.
Different tire? And like, I actually like, on the one hand it was cool, on the other hand I was like, I kind of just want to play the game like immediately when I hit go.
It does kind of bog the game down a little bit.
Yeah. It's like Gran Turcarto.
Something like that.
So yeah, Blickle Bliss got some Wii U stuff for his Wii U. And speaking of Wii U, Killer Cobra. Did you guys see the posts that Killer Cobra made?
Yes.
There are literally hundreds, maybe 1,000 games there. So just some of the stuff that I can readily see. You've got a balloon fight, volleyball, and stack up all boxed. I do see that big Mattel logo, so they are Canadian, but we're not going to discriminate.
Big box stack up, yeah.
Yep. You got a Battle Kid 2 repro box in there. You got a Codename Viper. You got Roger Rabbit, Renegade. There's stacks of Nintendo games behind it. There are 5-foot stacks of PS2 and Xbox games. There's an entire box of boxed Super Nintendo games. It really looks like he bought a store. And if you guys will join me on page 198, he's got some close-ups. He's got a Super Mario Brothers 2 telephone.
Crazy.
I've never seen this thing before. It's really cool. It's actually, the box is kind of themed after the box from
Mario 2.
Mario 2. And right next to it, he's got a Bayou Billy, so a nice Konami silver box in there. I love the Funko Land game sleeves. I actually would like to pick up a handful of these if I can ever get my hands on them. Really just like a ton of stuff. And he said he took like a hiatus for a little while, and then he just came back to collecting and I guess exploded when that happened.
Yeah. I don't even know. I don't know. There's so much stuff.
Just a ton of stuff. And actually, while I'm on this page, if I can go back and give Sir Psycho a mention, there's something on here that I definitely missed before. He's got a Bucky O'Hare cart in here, and he said he didn't pay all that much for it, so that is a nice score. So if we could just add that to Sir Psycho's, I'm sure he'll appreciate it.
It's a good variety in here, like that Battle Kid 2. That's pretty cool as well. Gun Knack.
Definitely.
Yeah. There's a
Captain N book.
Just a crazy amount of stuff in here. Just craziness. But no one can see that right now, so...
yeah, you just have to take our word for it.
Yeah, it's really pretty crazy.
Believe us, there's a lot of stuff.
Yeah. Which finally lends us to the end, right? To us.
Yeah, to the end.
The best stuff. Let's just say.
I was going to let Duke make everyone jealous with the very good stuff that he picked up, if he's prepared to do so.
Yeah, I guess I can run through my things kind of quickly. I mean, I think there's a box from Crabby that's waiting on me tomorrow, but we'll leave that out maybe for another time. Woo-hoo. Yeah. I picked up a new Sony PVM, 25-incher, and kind of in addition to the other ones. So it was really nice to get that one in here. I got it sitting here in the bedroom. Crabbo was kind enough to help me acquire a Flintstones Surprise at Dinosaur Peak. So
what?
Yeah, obviously they're just gushing everywhere. There's a guy has like how many?
The guy, I totally thought he was full of crap when he first came in. He had a picture showing 3 of them in it that I was sure he either photoshopped or just found on the internet. But sure enough, he needed money and he brought one of them in.
Crazy.
And he's brought in some other, like, one of Bill's new acquires he's brought in too, and several other interesting things.
Nuts. That's all I can say is... But Crabby posted that little picture to our little internal message thing, and I'm like, "Yep, okay, I gotta have that." I don't really eBay much, so I gotta pick things up when I can get them. It has been like a crazy period of time for homebrew NES releases. So man, a lot of these since the last time around. Study Hall, it's the newish game from Con Games. Crabby, I think you really like this one.
I actually just watched, do you know who Tom Votava is?
No.
He's pretty incredible NES player.
Oh, okay.
He's got a ton of like high scores and speedruns before like Twin Galaxies started going all weird.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, he did like a speedrun of Study Hall.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was crazy to watch. It's so fast.
Yeah, it's a pretty cool game. I think you'd really enjoy it. Might be something you look at here at some point in time.
Yeah, definitely. It does look like fun.
I picked up a new Chiptunes album on cart from 8-Bit Puritans, so that was pretty cool. I liked that, enjoyed it. I got The Grind, which is another homebrew release that was sold through Nintendo Age. Russ, over at Too Many Games, he picked up the 2 homebrew releases that were there for me, so I got those in. So T-Gun and the Coconut Cake Caper. Let me just say that the Coconut Cake Caper is the first game I've ever received that has its molded case instead of 3D printed.
Ooh.
And it's not very good. It looks kind of like it was carved out of a bar of soap.
Speaking of, I have a Bar of Soap Nintendo World Championship Edition.
Oh, there you go. But yeah, it was interesting for sure. And then Armed for Battle, I just recently got that one. That was Bill. I don't know if you remember way back when we were at Too Many Games last year. I had some handouts for that one, actually. So it's been about a year or so, but that one finally came out here recently, so I picked that one up. I also picked up one of those Nintendo World Championship repros from Retro USB, so that was fun. From Sensei Man, I got Samurai Pizza Cats and Lagrange Point. So, Crabby, gonna pick up a Samurai Pizza Cats at some point?
That's one of the few that are on my radar, definitely.
Yeah, it's kind of, I mean, didn't really need much of the language barrier. I mean, there's some little cartoony bits in the middle, but you definitely don't need it, that's for sure. my buddy Jobber, who listens to the show, we met up to go to Korg's, and he mentioned that he had a Final Fantasy II extra, for the Super Nintendo, and I had made a trade for one a while back. So he gave me a good deal on getting that one. So I really appreciate it. Thank you very much for that. And also, speaking of other people hooking me up, Mr. Wonderful on the site.
He's a good guy.
Yeah, he's a really good guy. But he found an Xbox One controller pretty cheap at some, I don't know, like a Goodwill or something. So he made me a good deal so I could pick up a second Xbox One controller. So I appreciate that.
Awesome.
At Korg's, I picked up the Japanese Mario 64, the Rumble edition. So that was pretty cool.
Rumble Pack Enhanced.
And that goes along well with Bill hooked me up by RGB modding my N64.
I did do that.
So that was pretty awesome.
Now it looks good and shakes.
Yeah, N64 on a big RGB monitor, it's pretty. It looks pretty nice. I also picked up a data recorder hand build to kind of go with my Famicom data recorder. Just these little hand builds. They have a lot of them back then they would hand out just to advertise products that were for sale. At the local store, I got a good deal on a Battletoads complete in box for Genesis, which that's a lot of fun. I'd never played the Genesis version before, but it's pretty good. And I got a boxed NES controllers, so like 2 brand new controllers in a box. There's only one in there, but I got the box with an untouched brand new NES controller in there. Supernova for the Super Nintendo, which is it's a Darius game, or Darius, however you say that.
It's pronounced Hootie and the Blowfish.
No, not Darius Rucker.
Oh.
Just a couple other quick things. I got a Play It Loud Game Boy, the clear one, which I like.
You have to say it.
And a Tatty Supercharger. I had to put that in for Bill. I got also just real quick couple shooters there. Ray Crisis, Zionide for the original Xbox, and Gekio Shooting King. How can you not pick up a game called Gekio Shooting King?
What system is that on?
PlayStation 1.
Nice.
But very old school scrolling shooter on the PlayStation. So I don't know how on earth that thing got localized, but it did. Probably not much work to it. But
keeping my eyes out for that one.
I would, yeah. Very, very traditional, very classic arcade vertical scrolling shooter. So, yep, I'd say check it out. But yeah, I wanted to run through those pretty quick, but a lot of cool stuff. But thanks to everybody who helped me out. I really appreciate it. How about you guys?
You want me to go, Crab, or you want to go?
Go nuts.
I will go nuts. So
just don't get your nuts in my peanut butter.
We will, since we're recording, we'll have that audio for the rest of our lives on a soundboard. So speaking of going nuts, Tinstar is selling a whole bunch of stuff. I think it's in his sales thread named like Orphans and boxes and games and all that crap. But anyway, so I saw a Nintendo Power Set box that we have on sale for months ago. I shot him a message, said, "Hey, if you still got that Power Set box, let me know." And then months went by, and then he sent me a message, and he was like, "Hey, I'm really sorry. I just didn't notice this message a while ago. Let me know if you still want the box." So I bought it from him. He shipped it over, and there was also a copy of NHL All-Star Hockey 98 for the Sega Saturn, a Sega Saturn exclusive.
What?
I might add. I haven't fired it up yet. I'm waiting for the right time. Like maybe you have some friends over. You're trying to impress.
I think you missed the right time. It was 1998. That was the right time.
And why would you do that to your friends?
Oh, you want to impress some ladies, maybe? You fire up NHL All-Star Hockey 98, a Sega Saturn exclusive. Have I mentioned that? Yeah.
Didn't I hear you have an anniversary sometime around now?
Ooh, maybe, honey, wake up. I have a surprise for you.
That'd go over great.
We're playing NHL All-Star Hockey 98. So he hooked me up with that, which was awesome. And he said, I can't tell you how long I've had this copy of a hockey game just sitting there waiting to send next time we did a trade. So that was very cool of him. Also, my first Play Choice 10 topper. I grabbed a Contra topper off of eBay. Wasn't really planning on buying it. The price just kind of stayed low throughout the whole auction. So I was like, okay, I'll get it.
Cool.
And Contra is one of the games that never leaves my system. It's probably the game I play the most on the Play Choice 10. Like, it's between that, Dr. Mario, Mike Tyson, and, a couple others. So I'd really like to get a Mike Tyson's Punch-Out topper and maybe a couple others to kind of cycle through because they're really cool looking. So I got that. It's been a little bit slow with new baby in the house and everything. So not a ton of extra money going around. But my most recent acquisition today is also thanks to Crabby. So obviously I'm pretty high in my boxed NES game count. But every once in a while he'll get some stuff in and let me know, hey, this is, are you interested in these? So we went back and forth just a tiny bit because I was like, listen, man, I'd love to get these, but, I know they're big dollar items. So, if you can get, a ton for them local, don't feel bad. And he's like, no, we'll work something out. So just in the mail today, showed up, Tiny Toons Cartoon Workshop, Ultima Warriors of Destiny, Monster in My Pocket, and the big ones, Bucky O'Hare and Chip and Dale 2. Now Bucky's the only one that's complete. All the other ones are either missing a manual or missing the cart, or I think missing, both on a few of them. But still, Crabby was, excellent in, helping me out with these, working with me on trying to figure something out that works for both of us. And, it's very nice to have some boxes to add to the collection for the first time in, actually, since the first time since he sold me the last lot of games that I added to my collection. So, very excited to play some of these, especially Bucky.
I've gotten comfortable with you owing money. I feel like as soon as we're caught up, I'm like, quick, I gotta get something else to sell them. I just buy something off eBay that I know you need.
and here's the thing is actually, since we're going through the process of probably moving, we're actually looking at houses this weekend.
Very nice.
So we're in the process of moving. So we already did our tag sale. We're kind of downsizing. I sold a bunch of stuff on eBay, like personal, household stuff on eBay. So I actually think that, I might not owe you money for, very long. Maybe not even over the next few days.
I will buy the next Donkey Kong Jr. math that pops up.
Gotta get those bill bucks.
And then I will owe you again. So, yep. So that's it for me. Not a whole lot, but definitely some good stuff in there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Especially, man, like that Chip and Dale 2 box. Wow. That's good. That's great stuff.
Yeah. Most def.
That just leaves you, Crab?
Yeah. I grab a ton of stuff in the store, more than I should. So I'll keep it really just to my favorites. So along with you and Rich, I picked up a World Championships card for myself. I loved it. It's awesome.
Do you get a high score?
I always get a high score every time.
I'm sorry, say it. World Championship SCART?
SCART, yes. Plugs into my PAL TV. I picked up a complete box copy of the first Fire Emblem game on the GBA, which I have been greatly enjoying over the last few weeks.
So it holds up compared with the newer ones?
Surprisingly, yes. I was really expecting something a lot more archaic, but no, it keeps up very well.
Ever any plans to try to get like a reproduction of the Famicom Fire Emblem game?
I might have to. If there's an English translation cart, I might very well have to do that.
There may be. I'm not sure.
I still need to get Sacred Stones. That's the last one I need, and I've got all the North American ones, and if I beat it, then I will have beaten all the North American ones, so I will definitely be looking into fan translations of the Famicom ones. What else did I pick up? There was a guy who brought in a really good box of stuff from the store, but he had one game that I have been looking for a very long time, which is Snatcher on the Sega CD.
Wow.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I didn't see a picture of that. You post it?
No, I don't post most of the stuff I get because I feel like I'm cheating now. It's like every day something. And the most recent pickups I got, I don't even think I showed you guys. Lots of times I'll show you guys in just our Group Me app. I went to pick up the last couple arcade machines from my deal I did with one of the restoration places a while back. And they had a Street Fighter Alpha 2 machine there that his nephew was supposed to pick it up. And that was like 2 months ago. And so he just said, like, I'm not waiting for that kid anymore. Like, take it. So,
nice.
Yeah, I've got a Street Fighter Alpha 2 machine for nothing.
That is awesome. Is that a CPS2?
I haven't opened it up yet. He didn't have the key for it. So I need to drill the lockout to get into the back still. And then very recently, last night, I stayed up until midnight moving them around. A friend and me went together on a deal to get a few pinball machines. And I ended up taking home a Laser War and a 1978 Star Trek machine, or Star Wars if you are Duke, if you're from Indiana.
It's the same guy, right? Darth Vader and Spock, they did the thing.
Speaking of Chris Pine, Star Wars...
I don't get the joke.
Yeah, no, I went fresh with Star Trek, so.
Oh, I get the joke now. I just got it.
You're like Captain America in the Avengers. I understood that. I got that reference.
So how many arcades and pins does that bring you to now? Do you know?
I haven't counted recently. Probably between 35 and 40, somewhere
when you don't know just how many arcade and pin machines you have, you are awesome.
Yeah, it's time to build an arcade, I think.
Yeah.
That's what I'm working towards.
It's time to upgrade your electrical service to a 200 amp.
Let me ask a question. Are there any roller skating rinks in your town?
There is one. I actually bought 2 machines from them a little while ago.
Oh, I was going to tell you to start one.
I think they're kind of on the way out.
Yeah, I mean, like, I know that type of business, I'm sure, is hurting these days, but for my money, like, I can't tell you how much I would love to just go to a place that used to, like, that type of place that used to exist when, we're kids and you go to birthday parties and it was roller skating, mini golf, and arcade.
Yeah, putts have died out around here.
Yeah.
It's a shame.
It is.
Well, awesome. Well, geez, sounds like everybody has cleaned up mightily in the last few months. That's for sure.
Yeah.
And definitely.
Yeah. We're definitely going to try to, get back on a regular pace, try to maybe make the, not even so much make small scores more manageable, just be doing it often enough where we can talk about, as much of the cool stuff that people pick up as possible. So, that's going to be the goal. We're trying to, summers are always tricky with vacations and everyone moving around and stuff, but, we'll do the best we can and hopefully, we'll get things rolling, on a regular basis with small scores.
Sounds good.